La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. I swear by Allah that everything I'm going to tell you today is the truth. There will be no lies. I will not hold anything back. I will give you all the information that I know as I know it to be true. May Allah forgive me for any of my shortcomings, if I make any mistakes, but from my memory, from the timelines. But the overall message which I'm going to deliver today, I know to be 100% true. Alhamdulillah, as I was somebody that's an investor and was somebody that was working with Aaqib, I have a unique perspective, and I'm sure that the full truth is probably somewhere else out there, but my version, my reality, you're going to hear from me today. And it's a very good, yeah, it's going to be an accurate timeline of events. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So why don't we
Mhm.
just start from what you consider to be the beginning of this?
Yeah, let's do that. So look, I'm gonna try and get through this a little bit faster for you so you can understand how it began. Okay, where did this all begin? Okay, first I need to quickly explain the industry that we work in. A lot of people don't have context into how we were fooled and how we were scammed and bought into this lie. So the industry that we work in is an industry called high ticket sales. Now, high ticket sales is loads of entrepreneurs around the world. They have coaching programs, investment opportunities, done for you business programs. There's so many different aspects, and there's thousands of them globally. And then these high ticket programs, they hire people like myself. So they'll have sales managers that manage their offers. Then they'll have closers who take the Zoom calls. They'll have appointment setters who book the appointments. There is something to do with like funnels and marketing and all this type of stuff. That's the industry that we work in. Now, I've been working in this industry for the last 2 years. Alhamdulillah, I have experience as a sales manager, many different things. I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But where did I first come across Akib Ahmed? This is where it began for me. This is my story. So I would say last year around October, so October 2023, Akib Ahmed went to an event by Sapiens Institute. Now, Sapiens Institute is ran by, affiliated with Muhammad Hijab and Hamza Tazouris, these guys. Now, I don't know them so well, but I know them to be like influencers and people, good people online, alhamdulillah, good brothers. They were at this live event, and Akib was speaking. He sponsored the event and he was speaking at the event. He pitched some of his products or services at the event. Now, my friend, messaged me and he spoke to me. He goes, Imran, because he knows I'm in this industry. He said, Imran, I was just at an event and I met a brother and he looks like he needs your help, man. Like his conversation skills weren't the best, his pitch wasn't the strongest, so on and so forth. But he looks like a good brother. I said, okay, cool, give me his information, let me research him. So I had a little look online and I saw him speak. The first time I saw him speak, I thought I could see that there's something wrong with him, a little bit autistic, something a little bit off. And I apologize, this is the wrong, but this is the truth. I judged him. I instantly judged him, and I said to my friend, "I'm not going to work with this guy. This guy's a joker. Like, who's this guy? He's a nobody." I said, "I'm a professional. I deal with professional companies," and that was my first interaction with Akib. It was from my friend who mentioned him on Sapiens Institute, so on and so forth. Now, fast forward, but don't get me wrong. I recognize his face. I'd seen him previously online, but I'd never really had any dealings with him. But the beginning of the story for me was that it was the recommendation from my friend that Imran, you might need to, this is someone who's looking for someone to work, looking for someone to join his team. Maybe it'd be worth you reaching out. I see that you took your mic off. Yeah, do you
Yeah.
have a question?
So your initial gut instinct when you first met him was
Yeah.
unprofessional. I don't want to work with him.
Yeah, no, I would say, okay, let me be very clear because I don't want to say something wrong. My initial instinct, I wouldn't say unprofessional, it was the way he spoke. I judged him as a person. This is just me. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying I looked at him and he looked like a nobody to me from the way he spoke. He didn't have those, he wasn't charismatic, he wasn't confident. I judged him and I just thought, who's this guy? He's a nobody. And so I had no interest to work with him. That was my very first initial findings of him. Now, fast forward 3 months, this is how I ended up working for him. He had somebody that was working for him on his company, in his company already currently, a brother called Imad. Okay. Imad joined a coaching program of my other friend, a guy called Jabran. So Jabran coaches people how to get into this industry, and he runs a program called Closers University. Imad joined Closers University, spoke to Jabran and said, "Hey, Jabran, The client that I'm working for, the brother that I'm working for, that I've been working for the previous year. So remember, there was somebody that we knew that already been working for him for a year. Said he's looking for someone to help him scale his offer. He's just done 3 million in the last 3 months on core sales. Alhamdulillah. So he did 1 million a month. Jabran then had a conversation with Aaqib, and Jabran basically negotiated that he's going to become his sales manager and he's going to help him scale a new offer. So not the coaching program that just did 1 million a month. He's going to help him scale a new offer that Aaqib wants to create. But then no, okay, this is where I'm going wrong. He's bringing in a new team to scale this offer, but Aaqib also told us he'd been running this offer for 5 years. 5 years. So we heard he's been running this offer for 5 years, but Jabran's coming in to help scale this offer. And then Jabran said, "Hey, Imran, I just met this guy. He did 1 million a month the last 3 months. His last closer, so someone who might do the same position as myself, was making 25 to 30K a month in commissions." So now I'm like, who's this guy? And he goes, Aaqib. But I don't want to say to Jabran, oh, someone already told me about him and I judged him. Now I felt guilty. I thought, subhanAllah, here's me judging this brother and I've just missed an opportunity. Allah brought me an opportunity, let's say months ago, but my ego stopped me from taking that opportunity. But now Jabran's like got the opportunity, but alhamdulillah, he's bringing me in. This is a sign. This is how this whole thing starts to come together. So now I've done my research into Aaqib. I've seen him with Dr. Zakir Naik, seen him with Mufti Menk, seen him, no, not Mufti Menk, sorry, Norman Ali Khan, and then obviously Sapiens Institute, Mohammed Hijab, and then you see him with Ali Dawa and these boys, and then you see him with like Al Maghrib, and you look on his website and everything looks legit. And now I'm seeing him in a different light. I'm thinking, wow, I judged this brother, but this is just a humble, good brother. He's making, mashallah, good money in the Muslim space. I'm a Muslim. I work in the Muslim space. This offer is perfect for me and my skills. Jabran, bring me in. I was like, yo, subhanAllah, if you need someone, if you're growing this team, bring me in, innit? I'm the guy that you need to bring in. And alhamdulillah, Jabran, of course, he's my friend. He's like, yeah, 100%. You're going to be the first person that I bring in. Once we need closers, you'll be the first person that I bring in. And then alhamdulillah, that's how I got hoodwinked. So that's how I was bought into it straight away, because everything on the surface looked real. He's already got credibility. He's got so much, the more you're learning about him, he's been online for more than 20 years. He's been running this offer for 5 years. There's so many success stories. Then we ask him, who's the biggest investor? We find out there's a brother from Luton, not going to mention his name. He's invested 1 million into this program, £1 million. So people say, how did you not do your due diligence? How could you believe it? My brother, when you hear a businessman has invested £1 million into someone's investment opportunity, of course, as Muslims, you're going to be like, yo, of course, he must have done his due diligence. And you take someone else's due diligence as your own. Because logically, you think, well, if this brother over here is sensible and he's invested 1 million of his own pounds, this must be legit and everything must be real. So you don't even question it. And that is how I began. Then Jabran began scaling this offer back in March, and I was brought in April. And April the 1st is when I took the first Zoom call of a potential investor. And I'm going to talk you through that in a moment. But I see you might have some questions, so I'm going to pause there.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly comment. It's easy for people to oversimplify the
Yeah,
entire experience and be like,
yeah,
what you said before, how did you not do due diligence? How did you not see
yeah,
it? But if you have not just like the actual currency, the money coming in, you have
yeah,
people who are close to who you trust vouching
yeah,
for this and seeing it themselves. You have the social currency of these big names, Muslims, da'is who are like
yeah.
with this guy or close to him. There's not a single red flag for you to spot.
Not a single one. At the beginning, there wasn't a single red flag.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, I can say that with chest. There wasn't a single red flag. All I saw was green flags. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, you're making dua as well. And this is personal between us. Whether you use it or not, I don't know. I don't mind. But I was in a situation where I was in debt from some other things. So I was looking for a way out. So I'm making dua, Allah help me find risk in different ways. And subhanAllah, then this was brought to me, and you believe this is the answer to your prayers. You believe that these are my skills. I'm helping Muslims make money. I'm helping Muslims get out of the 9 to 5. Everything that you believe in the industry you've been brought into, and then your du'as are answered because someone brings you this brother who you feel bad that you judged. So now you're trying to be extra nice to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
of course. Yeah, yeah. It
yeah,
makes a
and
lot
that's
of
basically,
sense. Mhm.
yeah, and so that's where I got to. Now, fast forward, but another thing which is very important to comment. We as a team, me, Jabra, and 70 other people are forgetting the vast how big this grew. It began in March. There began, I think, maybe 12 setters. So there was 12 appointment setters. Their job was to go through the leads, people that are applying to work with Aaqib, and their job was to book the calls for the people that qualified and were interested into this investment opportunity, which I'm about to break down and explain to you in a moment. And then Aaqib would do the closing call. He would speak to them and then he would explain the model, he would share the contract, and then he would sign them up. But of course, Aaqib's skills are not in closing, right? So, but he'd been doing it for years because he's the one who brought on all these people previous that had joined. People are forgetting as well. There's a lot of animosity going towards the sales team, but people are forgetting Aaqib had 3 sales teams before us, right? He had other sales teams way before us. He's been online for more than 20 years running different projects and different programs. And then a bit more context as well. When I'm speaking to my friends in my own social circles, I found a mutual friend of mine had worked with Aaqib on a previous project and made £40,000 profit with him. So he's very like everything's like you're getting verified after green flag after green flag. Now, what was it that he got us to buy into? He told us that he was running a legacy program. So one part of his business model is called Legacypreneur University. So this is a coaching program where he coaches and teaches Muslims how to start their own business. And he told us he was running this with a separate agency. This business has got nothing to do with us. So he was running that business. That business is up and running. That business was doing 1 million a month, 2 million a month. And but by the way, just to fast forward, that was all a lie. All of these numbers were all just made up. This is where the lie began. So all of these numbers and all this stuff that he's talking about was all made up. But what he said on what he wanted to scale was the investment side. And the way this worked was very straightforward. Aaqib was sold it as he was passionate about helping the ummah. He's passionate about helping Muslims break out the 9 to 5. And he's created a way where the biggest expense on the course side is the ad spend. So he's inviting investors. Investors would, let's say, invest 10K. Aaqib would use that 10K. He would create a Facebook page, create a funnel, create everything for his legacy program. So he would use their investment to run ads. Those ads would they get you a return on investment, and then the profits that are made would be split. And this is how a client can invest 10K and it's normal for them to make around 1,000. Now, from running the numbers, what he showed us, it's very achievable. It's very sensible. It's not unrealistic. That's another thing. People think, get rich quick scheme. How did you believe it? If it sounds too good to be true, it is. No, 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 no. I've been in this industry for more than 2 years. I know that these numbers were very conservative. When he spends 10K on ads, I know it's normal to make 20K, 25K, 30K. It's not difficult to do a 2x. A 2x is actually conservative. All he was doing was a 2x, and then he claimed he was taking not so let's say you invest 10K, that's the client's money. He's made 20K. He's taking 10K profit out. No, no, he's taking like he's making like 9K profit or something, which he takes out. The client's 10K goes back in the ad spend, and then the remaining 1K the client gets. So the client makes 1K, Akiv's making 9K. So we were like, yo, you're greedy, but it makes sense. The client's happy making 1 grand a month. For them, it's a good investment. And Akiv's making 9 grand off them. So again, this is giving more context as to why later, when you see some evidence that Jabran was making so much money, of course Jabran was making so much money because Akib's shown us that he's making basically of someone's investment, Akib's basically doubling that every single month. So of course, if we think that's the profit, we're of course going to negotiate commissions based on those numbers that are fair for us. That's bringing in these numbers. So look, that's what we were selling. It was an investment opportunity. And another thing that Akib did, clients can pull their money out at any time. So if I'm a client, I'm investing 10K. I'm going to make roughly 1K a month, but it's not fixed. It's based on performance, based on profits. And every single month you can make 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, whatever it is. Anytime you wish to take your investment out because of the way the business model is set up, that is just ad spend. We just needed a 30-day notice. Aaqib would close down the ad campaign. He would pay the final profits and he would return the investment in full. And during my time while I was here, I personally know and saw him refund at least minimum 20 different clients. So, of course, these are all green flags. It makes sense. People join the program, they make a little bit of money, then they left and they got their money back. So, yeah, does that make sense? And I'll invite you because I don't want to keep talking about the history, why this all happened. I want to start getting to the part how, the red flags and how we exposed him.
Yeah.
But so far, is that making sense? Do you know about the product? Have you got any questions that you'd like to
It's
ask?
yeah, I think I have a clear understanding of exactly what happened, what the offer was, and why it was so easy for people, both investors and for
Yeah,
people who are ex-employees of him now, to fall for that.
yeah,
So, I mean, for me, it's fairly clear that why a person, because I saw a sheet before that said invest 10K pounds, you
yeah,
can make 700 to 1,300 pounds.
yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah,
that
yeah,
makes a lot of sense. And now I
yeah,
could see why someone who has like 100,000 pounds or $100,000 sitting in their account, they're like, well, inflation's making it, devalue over
yeah,
time. I might as well have it do something it can make potentially my
yeah.
entire month expenses covered and then some to be saving money. And then I get to pull it out at the end of it. Yeah, let's
Anytime
do
you
it.
want.
Yeah.
Subhanallah, exactly. So this is another thing what people don't realize. 90% of the sales team, the people that worked here, all invested. I myself invested 75,000 pounds GBP of my family's money, and I'm not a rich man. So I initially put in 5K, my sister put in 5K, my uncle put in 5K. Then, alhamdulillah, we made our profits. Then we increased to 50K, told more of our family. Hey, then I put in another 10, my sister put in another 5, more people put in 5. Now we're at 50. Then the next month, now we're at 75. And again, people think, oh, that's greed. Allahu alam, I don't know. Is that greed? Is that you just thinking, no, this is an opportunity? Allah's bringing you away. Allah's showing you something. You just don't know. And the whole time, the common theme throughout was so Islamic. Like, I'll tell you one thing. Working here at Muslim Pioneer with Aaqib brought me closer to Allah. It did. It brought me closer to Allah because he was so passionate about the things he spoke about, the Hajj, prayers, du'as. Allah will find a way. Allah's the best of planners. Allah's the one who's guiding us. We go with Allah. What is written is written. So much as that was fed to us non-stop that it actually brought me closer to Allah as well, me personally. So alhamdulillah, in that aspect, and even now with this challenge and the difficulties, I'm kind of thankful because believe me, it's brought me a lot closer to Allah. Even little things like the worry or the chance of ruining my reputation and all these people thinking, Imran, you were involved in the scam and you scammed people and so on and so forth. Allah knows the truth. And on the day of judgment, this will weigh heavy for me, inshallah. But so yeah, for that reason, if you'd asked me maybe a year ago, this would have broken me because I'm big on reputation. Like, look, I'm so happy with my 5 star. You saw what not a single review less than 5 stars. Like, I'm very, very particular about certain things. But now, look, let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Okay, look, you understand how we got here. You understand why we're buying into it. So many people, we're seeing so many things. Another thing to mention, he constantly showed us fake bank statements. So, if we ever did see numbers, another thing, he showed us live the back end of legacy ones. So we saw that there were like 20,000 active students and he'd got people logging in and out. Like he must have paid some Pakistani call center or something to log in and out. And also the way Kajabi works is you have to have a verified email address. So every single person that's in that account has to be a real person. And we're seeing 20,000 students. So we're seeing it. We're like, yo, and then we're saying how many students came in today? Or how many students we signed up last month? Like, is this sustainable? Because you got to remember, if I'm bringing in investment, April, March, May, I've brought in, 150K first month, and then I've brought in 300K, and then I've brought in 500K. And I'm like, can you sustain this? Like, can you manage this amount of investment? Like, at some point, surely you're not going to be able to handle this, right, Akib? And then he was like, no, of course, like, it's fine. We're smashing it. Look. And then he's showing us the sales. But he's just faked it. Fake screenshots showed us, look, just today, I brought in 20 something new students. So we're like, wow, subhanAllah, like, this is amazing. So we continue. Does that make sense? Another people, what people don't understand is like, surely common sense would tell you that it's not sustainable. And in hindsight, it's easy to look at the numbers and be like, whoa, like, how did I believe those numbers? But when you're living it and you're asking the questions and he's showing you, everything you're seeing is making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And
Okay.
especially because like any one thing in isolation is going to sound bad, right? Any
Yeah.
one thing in isolation is going to sound bad, but you didn't have one thing in isolation. You had an entire picture, a group of
Yeah.
investors, family involved, friends
Yeah.
involved, like big social media
Yeah.
personalities involved. Like it's a lot deeper than just, oh, that one thing
Yeah.
you missed.
Exactly. And thank you for that, my brother. Now I'm going to quickly just skip ahead, let's start going towards some of the red flags. Now, different people will show you different red flags, okay? I'm just going to tell you what my red flags were, okay? My red flags for me, the first ones which started to make me feel uncomfortable, was I'd say it was around, I want to say it was October is when I really started to feel red flags. October is when I really started to see red flags. But I would say in September, I started to see, let's say, yellow flags. Let's call them yellow flags, right? Like little warning signs. He started to pay people, split payments up. So, for instance, I know previously, if he owed someone 30K, he paid them 10K, 10K, 10K. 10K used to be his limit. But then in September, now he's suddenly paying them 5K instead of the 10K. And he's like, oh, I've got to split the payments up. It's 5K, 5K. I've got to be careful. But he always had a reason why. And it always checked out, it verified. It was, oh, Imran, when I send more than 5K, sometimes it can get flagged if it's someone's personal account. And then that causes issues for all of us. And then if my accounts get frozen, then I can't pay clients. So I have to be really cautious. I have to just slow down payments. So there was always a legitimate answer behind the question. But I would say that was the main thing for me. The delayed payments. That one started to make me feel a bit uneasy. Like, why are you delaying payments? And then it was also the lies. But he never sold them as lies. He always sold it. And when I say lies, what I mean by this is telling clients, oh yeah, I'll pay you today. But then he didn't pay them. And then the next day saying, I'll pay you today. So this started to happen in October, like maybe the end of September. But the thing is, in his defense, he had scaled so much and we'd brought on so many clients, and he was the only person that was paying people that when he said, he goes, look, I've just got too many people that I have to pay. So I'm going to hire someone to help assist me. And until they take over and assist me, sometimes I might miss a few payments. But he always, when you messaged him and said, hey, pay this person, he always then paid them. And if someone was kicking off, he'd be like, I'm so sorry, Imran, forgive me. I'll pay them. And then he used to say, because I made them wait, because it was late, I'll pay them extra as a gesture of goodwill. I'll give them a little bonus. SubhanAllah. He paid an extra, like, £200, £500 to people for late payments. Another thing as well, real quick, before I even started to work for him, I forgot to mention, I was raising money for an orphanage. He donated £2,000 to my cause, and he didn't even know I was going to work for him. So again, this is another thing that made me feel bad for judging him, because I was like, this guy's a legit guy. He's donated 2 grand to my charity. SubhanAllah, I'm so grateful. But anyway, skipping fast ahead, look, there was a few red signs, little red flags now, delaying payment delays and, little bits of bad communication. But he actually hired someone called Umar who worked with us for 2 weeks, who stepped in and started taking care of payments. So he was helping Aaqib pay clients because we got to a point where paying clients was like a full-time job. So Aaqib was taking the steps in the right direction to show or look like he was trying to fix the business internally. So these are the reasons why we accepted it and we allowed it and we continued working. Because people are saying, why did you continue working? Because he's telling us, hey, I'm really sorry. I hold my hands up. My bad. But I'm bringing someone in. He's going to help with payments. Everything's going to be okay. And of course, we're going to take him at his word, right? Like, because he's not shown us any reason why not to. Now, now let's skip much further ahead. Now I'm going to get to the juicy part. This is where it's all going to unravel. Around October, this is the middle of October, out of nowhere, he just says, I've stopped. So, this amazing product that we're selling like 2,000 a month of, that he's making all this money of, that's funding and fueling all of the investment. Out of nowhere, he's turned around and he says, oh, by the way, I've paused the sales on that because I'm not, he never even gave us clear answers. I've paused the sales on that because I'm getting a lot of bad feedback. Not everyone's happy with the program, and I want to move over to a new program. So that means right now we're going to pause payments for 2 months. So clients aren't going to get paid. Now, hang on a minute. This was a major red flag. This is what sent waves through the team. Because imagine you're an investor and you've invested in the previous month, and the day you're expecting your profit payment, let's say it's October the 16th. That's your contracted agreement. In your contract, you're supposed to be receiving your profit payment October the 16th. Aaqib suddenly started messaging these clients with a statement saying, hey, internal changes, we're pausing, we're moving to a new program. So there's no profit payment for you. Profit payments are going to start in 2 months, in December 16th. So this one is one that shocked waves through to people. Now, I want to just provide some more context about who I am as a person, so things start to make more sense. I had a client that messaged me when he was expecting his payment, rang me and said, Imran, what the hell? What's going on? I was expecting my money today, and all of a sudden my man's told me that I'm not going to get paid until 2 months. What the hell's going on? Obviously, I've got to go off the information that I've got. I'm like, brother, look, Akib's told us that he's paused these things. We're moving over to a new program. By the way, just to let you know, Aaqib had created a new legacy program, and he partnered up with a new agency, and he was bringing me, Jabran, and the entire team in. And he finally said, yeah, I'm going to allow you guys to run this. Because the whole time while we were running the investment side, Jabran, the sales manager, was pressing him the whole time. There's loads of evidence that you'll be able to find later, and I can send you as well. And Jabran was saying, look, we'll take the legacy, because obviously from a business point of view, if this legacy program is bringing in 2,000 sales a month, we know as a sales team, why are we letting some random other agency take care of this and make the money? We should make the money. We can run this for him. We can do it and do everything in-house. At the end of the day, it's business. Like, if there's a big money maker over here, why do we want some other random agency to run it? We want to take part. That's our job. We're doing our job. But we didn't have access. But in October, all of a sudden, oh, no more core sales. We're moving over to a new product. And this new product, I want you guys to run. But the old product's done. But when this new product starts running and we start making sales on this new product, then we'll start paying all the investors from these profits. So now we've suddenly got pressure on us. We're like, hang on. So we have to make this work. But then what about all the money? What about all the other sales? Like, what's going on? But if you do this, Aaqib, people are going to want to leave. So you're going to have to start giving them their investment back. Not everyone's going to be happy. And at that time, he said to us, yeah, that's not a problem. If people leave, we'll refund them. It's 30-day notice. But then he changed it again. Then he said, oh, because of this transitional period, we need to keep that money for ad spend, so no one can take their money out till December. So basically, he was just buying himself time. But the thing is, Jabran, the sales manager, while this all happened, was on holiday. He was in either Tunisia or Dubai. He was on holiday somewhere. So he wasn't like physically here in the UK to deal with it and get to the bottom of what's going on. Now, me, obviously, I've got a lot of money invested. I'm a bit uneasy. I'm not sure what's going on. Same with the whole team. Everybody's feeling uneasy, but we're going with it. We don't have a choice. I keep saying we move on to this new product. We're like, sound. Jabran said no more DFY investment. We've got enough. Everybody focus on legacy. So now in the month of October, we're all transitioning over to this new product, this legacy program, which is basically a coaching course. And it's like, we don't need to go into it all, but basically it costs 10K. They help you make an agency. You learn how to become a social media, run a digital marketing agency. A client invests, they become a CEO of a business, and we help them run the business. And then after a certain period of time, once we've helped them make all their money back, what it costs to work with us, they have their own agency. And then if they want to continue working with us, they can pay us for our services. Or if they want to do it themselves, they can do it themselves. So look, it was a legit, real offer. It was a legit, real offer. And so anyway, so look, October, then this is the point I was going to say. My client told me, Imran, I needed that money. I didn't get paid. I needed that money. What's going on? From my heart, from my own pocket, I said, send me your bank details. I gave him £500 from my own money. I can verify all of this. And I said to him, my brother, because you're struggling and you needed it, that's from me. If you want to leave Aaqib, the investment opportunity, no problem. I understand. Put your 30-day notice in. And when Aaqib returns your 5 grand, if you're in a position to give me my £500 back, alhamdulillah, give it me back. If you're not, that's yours. It's not a problem for me because I'm not a greedy salesperson. Believe me, none of us are. No matter what figures or what accusations Aqib's created now, which we'll come to in a moment. And I did that for 2 clients, 2 separate clients, and forget that. And by the way, why did I do that? People will ask, why did you do that? Because I'm a human, I'm a Muslim. Someone's struggling. I had money. Alhamdulillah, I was making good money. I had money in the bank. I didn't need all that money. My man, this brother was struggling. He got hit with some horrible news, so unprofessional. Like, how can you do that to people when they're expecting money to suddenly turn around and say you're not getting paid? For me, that was enough for me to quit. That alone was enough for me to quit. I was ready to leave working with Muslim Pioneer because I was that unhappy. So my plan was to request my family's money and I was going to leave Aaqib. At that moment, I didn't believe he was a scammer. I just believed he was very unprofessional and inconsiderate. And I was upset with him. I was like, how can this guy treat people like this? How can he be so nonchalant? And for me, that was enough for me to quit. Now, I did that with 2 clients, which I can verify, and they will vouch for me. I gave them money from my own pocket, and I told them both, when you get your investment back, because I believed they were going to get their investment back. Because remember, I'd been seeing so many people get their investment back anytime they left. That's what people don't understand. But then another single mom, my brother, a single mom had invested 5K. Her husband had passed away. She rang me. She got the letter. She was hysterical. She was crying. She goes, Imran, what the hell? What's going on? I trusted you. Imran, I trusted you. What's happening? What's going on? So on and so forth. I said, sister, no worries. What do you want to do? Do you want to leave? Do you want to leave the program? She goes, Imran, I want to leave. I don't feel comfortable. I want to leave. I said, no problem. What's your bank details? I transferred her £4,000 from my own pocket. And I said to her, when you have the money back from Aaqib, sister, just give me the 4,000 back. But I don't want you to stress. I don't want you to worry for 30 days. I don't want that headache on your head. I don't want you to be nervous because that's who I am as a person. And thousands of people will vouch for me because alhamdulillah, I have a good reputation. And that's what I did. And I've got the messages and she will vouch for me. Why? This is another thing people don't understand. To be fair, I probably would still anyway, but what I'm about to say is why would I give someone £4,000? I never made £4,000 from her. I make 10% comms. I made £500 when she invested. But I've given her 4,000 from my own pocket, right? But what I wouldn't do that if I believed she wasn't going to get her money back. At that moment in time, I still believed she was going to get her money back. Anyway, they're the 3 main people that come to mind. There's probably a few more, but now let me skip forward. Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm feeling uneasy. I've started to close down my calendar. I'm not really working too much. Also, in the month of October, I had a really bad eye infection. So I couldn't even take Zoom calls. So there was a lot of things that were stopping me from working, but I was still taking a few calls here and there, few phone calls, still doing a little bit here and there. But then Aaqib invited me to a live event in November the 2nd, the live event in London. And he said, Imran, you've been one of my top closers. So I've got all the messages. You know, I want to invite you to this live event. It'll be so good to connect. We'll network, we'll game plan for the future. I thought, wow, okay, this guy's deluded. He doesn't even understand how angry and upset I am with him. But you know what? Let me get the answers. Because all these people online and everyone around the world is trying to make out like, now, by the way, in hindsight, everybody's coming out the woodwork saying, oh, I knew there was something wrong with him. Oh, I never trusted him from the beginning. Where were you guys months ago? Why didn't you take action? Because there's only one person. When I felt uneasy, I slowed down my calendar. And then November the 2nd, I went to the live event in person. I kept everything sweet. I kept everything friendly. And then we're doing the event. Everything's there. And by the way, this is the who's who in the UK. Every top Muslim entrepreneur is at this event. They all network with him. They all vouch for him. They're all part of his group. They're all part of his social. They're all on his websites, right? So all of these people, they are also responsible, in my opinion, because it's because of them. And shall I tell you why they're responsible? They're not responsible if they were like me and they just thought he was a good guy. Not all of them are responsible, but a lot of them, and I have evidence and proof, but I'm not going to expose people. I'm not here to expose people, but I will speak with them privately. I have evidence and proof that they knew there was something wrong with Aaqib's business model and they didn't take action, and they didn't warn people, and they didn't stop anyone, and they continued to go to his events, and they continued to support and network with him because they were happy to make that money. Because he used to pay them 5,000, 10,000 to come to these events with him. Yeah? Me, I never got paid any of this stuff. I got paid to do a job. My job was to explain the business model and pass people a contract. And if they wanted to join, they can join. If they didn't want to, they didn't want to. And alhamdulillah, every single client that invested through me will vouch for that because I'm not a pushy salesperson. I'm charming, I'm charismatic, which I feel sick for because basically Aaqib's leveraged my gift and my skill set to do this haram. That's what I feel responsible for. But I was not responsible for knowing something was wrong. Because when I knew something was wrong, November the 2nd, I still had no evidence, but I had a feeling. I started to piece all the things together, all the delayed payments, this, and it all led to one thing. It looks like he's running out of money. That's what it seemed to me. So at the event, I kept everything sweet. We go into the event, I'm mingling with all these people. Then dinner was served. Now I saw my opportunity. So me and a colleague, so I had a colleague of mine who both worked for Aaqib. I said, come. I said, Aaqib, come, let's chat. Let's come follow me, let's have a chat. Took Aaqib to kind of like the waiting, there's the main room that we were in, and then there's kind of like the welcome room where we did the welcome drinks. And it's kind of a hallway between before you get to the stairs. So I take him into that room and I say to him, and I just confront him direct. I look at him and I said, Aaqib, I believe you're running a Ponzi scheme. If you can't show me in your phone right now that you're not lying, yeah, I'm gonna expose you today. And then he crumbled. He goes, Imran, no, I'm sorry, I've just made mistakes. And I know it's not that, but I've made mistakes. And yeah, I need your help. I need your help to fix it. I was like, you what? I'm so furious. So I'm like, I can't believe did this begin as a lie? Depending on how your answers go, will then determine what we do. Yeah. Did you begin to scam people? What happened? And then he assured me that he didn't. He assured me he just made mistakes. He assured me that, Imran, I promise I want to pay everyone back. I want to help everyone make the money back. Now, Rami, I'm stuck. I can't just expose him because that's throwing all my money away. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how are we going to fix it? How are we going to, like, what's the solution? He told me the solution is this legacy program, this new one. He goes, we need to build it out like it's legit. We're working with an American agency. I need you guys to help me. As soon as the money comes in, we'll start paying everyone off. I said, yeah, but what about all these bullshit profit payments you're paying people then? That means they're not real. They don't exist. He's like, no, I've just been paying people. I go, so you've been paying people from other people's money? He's like, yes. I go, that needs to stop today. I said, that needs to stop today. I go, Aaqib, the only way to fix this is you need to come clean. You need to tell people the truth. And then he goes, Imran, no, I will, but I don't know people. If people think it's a Ponzi scheme. And by the way, I'm going to come to some more stuff in a moment. Then, now, we continue the event. Everything was fine. Obviously, a few people knew something was heated because they could see that we were having like a heated discussion in the corner. And a few people confronted us. They were like, what's going on? I'm not liking your body language because they think I'm bullying him. They don't know the truth. But they think I'm bullying him, but they don't know I've just freaking exposed him. He's just admitted to me he's freaking been running a Ponzi scheme. Anyway, cut long story short, the next day I've got all the messages. He's still fine with me. So now he's claiming that I battered him and I bullied him. What is that bullshit? Sorry, I don't want to swear, but it's all bullshit. It's all lies. He's creating an agenda. And anyway, then now fast forward, it's November the 5th, right? I think I have to see Aaqib in person. I need to speak with him. I need to get more because I haven't been able to sleep since that Saturday night. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep knowing now what I know. But I was like, I have to help it. I have to fix it. I have to help everyone get their money back. I can't just leave these people in the lurch. So I'm thinking what to do. I'm thinking all the solutions. And the only solution is to come clean. Tell everybody the truth. Say, look, this is what Aaqib's doing. He's making mistakes, but he's got a legitimate business and he is committed to paying you back. And I even said to Aaqib, I'm willing to work for free until everybody makes their money back. Wallah, I was going to work for free. I didn't even invoice him for October between me and you. I didn't even invoice him for October because now I know that it was haram money, that is like money from other people that was made up. I've got the messages. I said, I'm not going to invoice you. Just pay the staff. But we'll come to that in a moment. Anyway. November the 5th. So remember, November the 2nd, I find out. And I get a part truth out of him. November the 5th, I drive down to Milton Keynes. And I just ring him when I'm in Milton Keynes. And I'm like, Salam Aaqib, you're right, what you doing? What you up to? Because me and him are still cool. I'm helping him build out legacy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just here, I'm just here, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. I said, cool, come meet me for lunch. I'm in Milton Keynes. Obviously, he's like, what? He's a bit scared. I said, Aaqib, look, I've got a team meeting with the team today at 9 o'clock. Because obviously, with all these uneasy things, the team's not really happy. Team morale's really low because they don't know what's happening. 1 minute they're doing done for you investment. Now they've been suddenly moved on to a new legacy program. No one's really explained why. Nobody understands why there's paused profit payments. Nothing's making sense. Everybody's scared. So I'm like, look, Aaqib, I need to speak to you. I need to game plan. I need to make sure I know what I'm saying to the team. And then Bismillah will figure out, I could come just meet me. And I've got all the voice notes. I'm like, oh, look, I'll order us a mixed grill, retete, keeping it friendly. I convince him to come meet me. So he comes, he meets me at a restaurant. Now, Rami, between me and you, I recorded the entire conversation for 30 minutes on a voice recording while we're just talking in a public place for legal purposes. Because I knew that when this comes out, now I know it's a Ponzi scheme, right? I can get done. Legally, I'm supposed to cut ties straight away and expose him. But I can't because I've got too much money stuck and too many of my friends got stuck and too many investors got their money stuck. I can't just because I broke even means I can just dash everybody else. I'm not selfish. Oh, and by the way, when I say I broke even, let me make one thing clear. Wallah, I left my money in. £25,000 of my money I left in. Aaqib still has £25,000 of mine because how can I be selfish and take my money out and leave everybody else? You tell me who else would do that. There's not many people who would do that, I'm telling you. And I'm not saying that to blow my own trumpet, but I always do the right thing because that's not right for me to be selfish, to take my money out and leave everybody else in the lurch. But family is different. Family and friends, they were my responsibility. But my money, I left in because I wanted everyone to be safe and I was going to take my money at the end. Anyway, so November the 5th, I record the convo, and in that recording, you hear basically me talking about lots of stuff, and he admits that he's been running a Ponzi scheme. He admits he was the only one that knew, no one else knew. He admits that he held it all alive from Jab and me and the team. I've got it all, yeah, and that's going to be with the police. This guy's going down. But the reason I haven't shared it, and I'm just sharing this with you, is because you know how people can take clips and create a different narrative. I'm scared people will do that against me because in the clip, I'm talking a lot like saying things like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. But that's because I'm trying to fix the business. People don't understand. I'm trying to fix the legacy program. So when people hear it, they might be like, Imran, you sound complicit. You sound like you know what you... No, I wasn't. I'm trying to fix what he's done. But anyway, so I record it all and then alhamdulillah, I managed to convince him that he needs to come clean and he admits it. So I say, we may as well do it now. I take control of him and I whack the camera on. But I know that that's not going to go in court because he's in there in person. And I know legally they're not going to accept that, right? But I still needed it for the public. So I got my camera out. I said, you may as well just talk now. And I've got like 6 recordings where he talks about loads of different versions of his truth, right? And I even on that day was still willing to work with him to fix the legacy because I never knew it was a Ponzi scheme from the start. You have to understand, he made out like there were some core sales, but he just took more investment than he could handle than what sales were coming in. And that's what he said was making so that was my knowledge on that day. So I record him and he tells the part truth. Hey, I outgrew, I made mistakes, so on and so forth. I get all the recordings. Now I say, Aaqib, I'm going to tell the team. I need to tell the team so they know what they're dealing with. And then we're going to figure out how to tell the investors. He goes, yeah, cool, no problem. And now that Zoom recording, I don't know if you've seen it, but I can forward it you, is the Zoom recording where I break the news to the team. It's a 50-minute call. So you probably haven't got time to watch it all. But wallah, if you watch that call, you'll know who I am as a person and you'll know the team did not know. That's the day we found out. I broke the news to the team. There's a 50-minute Zoom call, which I can share with you. You can quickly skip through. You can watch some of it and you'll understand how basically I explained this whole story. And yeah, anyway, so now the team knows. Of course, they're devastated. But I told them there was a light at the end of the tunnel because guys, if we work on legacy, we can make legacy work. And as we bring in sales from legacy, Aaqib's going to start paying all of you guys back. And I got Aaqib to agree, no more profit payments from today. Every payment that you give to clients is a return on their investment. You need to come clean. Aaqib goes, yeah, safe. Anyway, cut a long story short, November the 5th, I told him he still didn't come clean to the public. November the 6th, He then delayed till the 8th. He goes, oh, Imran, I just need to prepare. Give me a few days. November the 8th, I'll release a statement. And of course, I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. But we need to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I'm doing the timeline with him. Then more lies. And by the way, it's now November the 8th. He still hasn't paid the staff for the previous month. He still hasn't paid the agency. So this new program that we're selling, this legacy program, he hasn't paid the agency and he's supposed to pay them. He stopped running ads, so we're not getting new leads in, right? So I'm every day I've got the messages. I'm like, Aaqib, you need to pay the staff. Why are you not paying the staff? Aaqib, pay the staff. And I said, Aaqib, if you don't pay the staff today, then I'm going to invoice you for what you owe me from last month. But if you pay the staff today, I'm not going to invoice you. Like, work with me. I'm helping you out here. He still didn't pay the staff. He still kept lying. Then he turned November the 8th to November the 16th. And he said, I'm working with a consultant. And what we need to do, Imran, is we need to get a call center in place. So when we break the news to investors and people are upset, they're not dealing with you guys. They're going to be dealing with a professional call center who's going to manage them, calm them down, and then create payment plans. And we'll start working. So at this moment in time, I still believe we're trying to help fix everything. And we're trying to bring in legacy sales. But my brother, basically from that point, every single day, it was more lies. And then I've also found out he was still taking investment money from people on the Ponzi side scheme. And then it came out because teams messaging me saying, Imran, what the hell? You told us this on Tuesday. And now Aaqib's still taking money. And Aaqib's messaged this client. And Aaqib's messaged that client. And now I realize, yo, my man's still lying. He's still trying to take money from more people. And he was very clever. This is what I believe, by the way. I believe he wanted to do that pause payments because what he wanted to do for 2 months from October till December, even till January, he was planning to just bring in as much money as possible, not have to pay any profit payments because he told everybody there's no more profit payments, you're not making any profit. And then he was going to run away with a big wad of cash. That's what I believe. Now, and then check this. So every single day, I'm encouraging him, you need to come clean, you need to come clean, you need to tell people the truth, you need to tell people the truth, you need to tell people the truth. He kept delaying, kept lying, didn't pay people, didn't pay the agency. Finally, then we had a Zoom call, I think it's November the 11th or something, where Jabran, the manager, he jumped on a call with me, Jabran, and Imad. And this is where Aaqib, the first time he admits it was a Ponzi scheme from the start, and there were 0 core sales. So now when we found that out, and now with the combination of, hang on, so you lied from the beginning, this changes everything. Because it's one thing to make mistakes, but it's another thing to actively start this from the beginning. That's when Jabran got emotional, and I don't blame him. Then he went on a team meeting with the team, and he told the team everything. It's been a lie from the start. This is done. Right? That's when everybody started getting leaked in the public because people were just going mad and obviously people are upset. And then naturally, some of the team were giving him death threats. Of course, they're like, yo, give us my money back, give our family's money back. What the hell are you doing? I'm going to kill you. Bro, you can't control what people are going to do, right? And even in that time, I still didn't expose him publicly. I said, Aaqib, you need to do it yourself. Come clean. Please come clean, tell the truth, and I will be here to help you on the legacy. I will help you. But by the time he released his statement, I can't remember the exact date, his statement was still bullshit. It was still lies. It was still like bull. He was saying to people, I'm going to pay you back. I'm committed to paying you back. But how? How is he committed to paying people back when he's not paying his staff? He's not paying the ad guys. He's not paying the agency. He's not paying anyone, but he's still lying and taking money from people. But he's not paying anyone. So then we had no choice but to expose him. Now we exposed him. I released a statement explaining everything with evidence and so on and so forth. And then, subhanAllah, this evil, evil guy suddenly figures out the best way to get himself out of this is to create a narrative and blame the sales team. And he created this narrative. And by the way, you might have seen some payments to Jabran around 700K over 1 month. And people were like, Jabran must have known, he must have been involved. Let me provide you some context. Jabran didn't take payment for 3 months because he was dealing with his taxes. So when Aaqib paid him, that was 3 months worth of payments that he paid him in a condensed period of a month. Now, of course, it's a lot of money. But think about it. If Jabran's the sales director, in this industry, it's normal for a sales agency to charge 30% for services rendered. So any revenue brought in, the sales agency charges 30%. Now, in Jabran's case, that's what he negotiated with Aaqib. Not from the start, but after Aaqib saw the results that Jabran was bringing, he negotiated 30%. So appointment set as 5%, my role 10%, and then Jabran was making 15%. Now, can people hate him for that? Yeah, people might. But at the end of the day, he's a business guy. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong. He was just making a good business decision. He was making money. And now, obviously, he knows that, let's say, that money is not halal. Of course, Jabran will work towards paying people back. He's not an evil person. He's not a rat. But Akib created this narrative that the sales team have got all your money. Get your money from them. They're evil. They took advantage of me. Imran Farooq battered me. Imran Farooq abused me. And he's mentioned my name so many times. But alhamdulillah, Allah has been protecting me. If it wasn't for me grabbing Akib, getting to the truth, making him come clean, and stopping him from continuing taking money from people, if it wasn't for me, people still today would be paying him, waiting for profit payments that were supposedly going to come on December the 16th, that were never going to come. And then he was going to say it's a 30-day notice from December the 16th till January the 16th. His plan was to continue making money till January the 16th, and then he was going to do a runner. But wallah, I stopped him. I stopped him. That's why he has so much anger for me, which is why he keeps trying to throw my name under the mud. But alhamdulillah, people aren't buying onto it. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Firstly, subhanallah, like this is the most insane and outrageous scheme that
Yeah.
I've ever heard of before. I've heard about a lot of schemes in the past. This is so troublesome
Yeah.
because I've seen videos of him. I don't know him. I've seen videos of him.
Yeah.
I've seen him cry,
Yeah.
about, oh, I made some
Yeah.
mistakes. I want to pay people
Yeah.
back. And then in the
Yeah.
next second, he has a
Yeah.
normal tone. He's just talking
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And he ties Islam into it. He brings up Allah. He brings up the ummah. And imagine good-hearted, believing Muslims with high iman who want to
Yeah.
do good, who want halal income. They don't want to put it into something they know would make money, but that is haram, right? And he utilized that to manipulate people from
Yeah.
the beginning to the
Yeah.
very end while lying, and now he's trying to throw it onto other people. It's very despicable. But
It's horrible.
I do have some questions about
Yeah.
where we are now.
Yeah.
I've heard that some people are alleging that they're trying to do a chargeback through PayPal and other payment processors, and he's actually disputing it on his end
Yes.
while
Yeah. Yeah.
also saying, "I'm going to pay everyone back."
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you're
That's
hearing on
correct.
your
Yeah,
side?
that's correct. So what he's 100% doing chargebacks. He's refuting the chargebacks. He's fighting every single case. He created a fake document. So, okay, there were three ways people could pay. You could either pay via PayPal, you could either pay via Stripe, so a payment link, or you could do a bank transfer.
Mm.
Now, anybody that worked through Stripe, he's partnered up with this Maroof guy. Now, I'm not saying Maroof's involved, by the way. I don't know whether he is or whether he's not. But the brother Maroof who runs the Stripe link, it wasn't Akib Stripe link. It's someone called Halal Ad. Now,
Mm.
what I believe is Akib used his friend's Stripe link to let us take payments,
Wow.
and then where that money went, I don't know. But supposedly that money went straight into ads. But what he's now done is created a contract, a fake contract with this Maroof guy, which states that all the money that was paid on these links was non-refundable and things. So now no one can get their money back from Stripe. But if the first few people who did it before they quickly created this fake document had some success with Stripe. But now nobody's getting their money back with Stripe. Same
Wow.
with PayPal. PayPal had frozen around 300K in his account because there were a few chargebacks and a few people got success getting money back from PayPal. But he's done and created something with PayPal now that even PayPal aren't paying anybody back. And
Wow.
then the last one is the bank transfers. The bank transfers, they take the longest because the way it works in the UK and Wise and America. So anybody that did a wire transfer or bank transfer, it looks like it's going to be a long, messy process for them to get some of their money back. There's chance, but it's going to be years, probably
Wow.
years before they get that money back. Which is why, so what's happening now? I'm about to have a call with a solicitor tomorrow. The thing is, the way the UK works is we've reported him hundreds of times to an agency called, I can't remember what the agency is called, but they're the online agency that deal with these fraud and these Ponzi schemes. But this agency take 28 days minimum before they decide what action to take, right? So nothing is even currently happening right now. Okay. But we've provided evidence, we've messaged them, we know who's in charge of the case. but no charges or nothing has been filed as of right now. So at the moment, he's just running around free in the UK, or he's gone somewhere around the world, I don't know, releasing these random videos, just putting out stuff against the sales team, keeps trying to divert people onto the sales team, and namely me. He's named me quite a lot of times. He's named Jabran quite a lot of times. And that's where we're at. But then when I got legal advice, someone said, listen, you need to start civil. Because basically in the UK, because it's to do with money, they say, even though he's ran a Ponzi scheme, which is the legal aspect, which is going to take time before they go down that route, to deal with the money, it's a civil matter. It's a civil matter between two people. So someone has to take civil action against him. So they can start putting CCJs, county court judgments, on his accounts. And then if he declares himself bankrupt, they'll do an investigation and audit of where did all the money go. So I've got a meeting with someone tomorrow who just won a class action lawsuit against another company for something similar. And tomorrow, inshallah, I'm going to try and recruit them, find out what the cost is. But the thing is, I'm not a rich man. And also, just so you know, sorry, random information, real quick. As soon as I found out from November the 3rd, what he was doing, I started refunding so many people myself. I've paid back over £70,000 to the most vulnerable people that invested through myself, and even people that didn't invest through myself. But you know, all these people, all these victims online, obviously, I feel for them. They're looking for someone to blame. They're buying into the lies. They kept attacking us as a team, saying, this money's haram for you. You guys need to pay it back. People demanding me to pay the money back. But that was just my wage. That was my earnings. I've spent a lot of that. But anything that I had extra, I've paid back. And the thing is, again, I can show you the proof. I can show you the messages. I can go through my bank statements with you. It's no issue for me. And you'll see all the refunds. I've lost out so much. Think about it. For one whole year, basically from April till now, I've worked no other jobs. I've got no more clients anymore, hardly. Like, obviously, I'll be able to build it back up, inshallah. But, like, I focused everything on this. So people don't understand. Tell me who else in the world can work for 8 months and then suddenly find out all the money that they made in that 8 months, they've got to pay it all back. Tell me who can do that. It's impossible. But I've still refunded over 70K so far. And my intention is to refund everything that I made while I was here. My intention is to pay every penny back.
Inshallah, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu
Inshallah.
wa ta'ala make it easy for you and for all the
Ameen.
ex-employees, all the victims, and
Yeah.
allow something to just get through to this
Yeah.
man to just give the money back, even
Yeah.
if it's not from him, through the judicial system to force
Yeah.
him to
Yeah.
seize the assets and to
Exactly.
give it back to the people who it rightfully belongs to, inshallah. I do have
Yeah.
a few more questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Currently, if you were to guess, where is Aaqib? Is he still in the UK? Has he fled the country? And how much did he run away with?
I believe, again, these are where I don't have the answers. Okay. So I can only give you my opinions. And my opinions are based not really of anything factual. It is purely just my gut. So if I was to go with my gut, I believe he's still in the UK, personally, because his mom and dad are here, his wife's here, his son's here. So I believe he's somewhere in the UK. I don't believe he's in Milton Keynes. I believe he's moved to a different city. He's hiding away in some Airbnb. How much did he run away with? Again, pure speculation. I believe he's got at least 5 to 8 million. At least, in my opinion. I could be way off, but I believe if I'm running the numbers from the amount that we brought in, the amount that we made, the amount that was thing, he's got to have about 5 mil. It just doesn't make sense where all that money went. So this claim or these lies that he's got all the money and the sales team's got all the money, like, bro, you're talking about 10% and 5%. Where's the other 70% that you had? Where's all that gone? And, that didn't all go into paying clients. And another thing which is important to note as well, so many clients and victims are so angry at the sales team and people like me and us and Jabran. But what about all the clients that made profit? What aren't they? Isn't their duty to pay that profit back? Aren't they supposed to be trying to pay that money back? Why aren't these other people doing the same? Like, I honestly, that's like, I don't want to start like attacking people, but a lot of these other Muslim coaches and influencers that worked with Aaqib that made all this money, where are they? Why are they? And they're all online saying, we knew something was wrong and I never trusted him from the start. Why didn't you act? Why didn't you take action? Only one person did. Thousands of people now are saying, I knew this, I knew that. Only one person took action, me. I'm the only person that took action.
Subhanallah. It's always easy to say things in hindsight, right? It's always
Yeah,
once it's all said and done and the fact and the truth of the matter is established. It's easy to say, "Oh, I would have done this."
yeah,
Like I saw this and that. But
yeah,
in the moment, it's a completely different story. And you raise a good
yeah,
point. I mean, if the employees are at fault for making money
yeah,
from this, then so are the investors because the
yeah,
method of making money is exactly the same. Whether you were selling it or making money from being an investor, it was all just
yeah.
coming from other investors.
Other people's
So
money. So everyone's responsible to be paying that money back. And you
100%.
know, yeah, and see, I never shied away from that. I'm the one that again made that statement, and a lot of people were angry with me because I released a statement that I said the money is now haram to us. Again, I'm not a scholar, but I spoke with a lot of scholars. I spoke with people that are knowledgeable in this, who are like, have understanding of Islamic fiqh in finance. And I asked them, and this is what they said. They said, Imran, you don't have to pay it back instantly. If you haven't got the means, it's not a problem. But now you know that it's come from someone, you have two options. You have to try to return the money back to the rightful person, or you donate that amount in charity. But that's what you have to do. And but obviously don't put yourself or your family at risk. Don't try and, like so on and so forth. But alhamdulillah, when you have the means, make sure you do the right thing. But again, I didn't need somebody to tell me what the right thing to do is. I knew myself morally, and I already started to refund people before the public came on us on a witch hunt. And again, I can explain how the witch hunt started, and I can explain how certain investors got into Aaqib's head and helped him create that narrative. I know how that all happened, but it's not really relevant to the story. The reality is it might have happened anyway in another means, and naturally people need someone to blame. I understand that. But I do feel, of course, I feel for the victims without a doubt. But I feel a lot for the sales team because my brother, majority of them basically means they've made no money. They've got to rework extra hard to pay back all the money that they made while they were here. They've got to rework extra hard to get back all the money that they invested. I've got sisters that are crying, thinking they're getting to get divorced because they got their in-laws to invest. Their in-laws are now not speaking to them. Family members are not speaking to family members. Brothers and sisters are falling out because everybody, like you said, hindsight's a beautiful thing. People are like, how could you get scammed? I trusted you. Why didn't you do your research? Oh, now it's all coming to light. Look at all the red flags. I can't believe you put my money in there. It wasn't safe. The team is ruined. There's some of the sisters in hospital, some of the brothers in hospital. Even myself, alhamdulillah, I'm a strong man. I've had anxiety attacks and 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 panic attacks. I haven't been able to sleep. I've been waking up in the middle of the night. My heart's been racing, racing. I can't breathe. It's hard, man. It's hard.
Look,
Akim,
mhm.
another thing. A masjid wanted to invest. A masjid wanted to invest. They came on a call with me. They wanted to invest. And taking money from the masjid is a little bit different. And I was like, oh, the masjid wants to invest. I said, look, I'm not sure if we can accept money from the mosque. The guy said, find out if you can accept money from the mosque. I went to Aaqib. I said, Aaqib. And I was testing him as well. Like, what's he going to say? I said, Aaqib, there's a brother from the masjid who wants to invest. What shall I say to him? Aaqib goes, oh, mashallah, that's amazing. Like, I can't believe this. This is so beautiful that the masjid's thinking outside the box. They're looking at different streams of revenue. Imran, think about the rewards you're going to get. Think about the barakah you're going to get. Think about the sadaqah jariyah you're going to get from all the money that the masjid's going to make from working with us. Imran, this is going to weigh heavy on your scales on the day of judgment. This is what Aaqib said to me. And me, the thing is, this is another point I want to make. People are so easy to quick to judge, say, how could you not know? But I'm a Muslim and I'm truthful. And so the way people react when they get this information says more about them than it says about me. Because I'm truthful, so I expect people to be truthful with me. I'm God-fearing, so I expect people to be God-fearing. When I ask Akib this question about the masjid, should they invest, and he gives me this explanation, it fills my heart with pride and happiness. And then I go back to the masjid and say, SubhanAllah, it's amazing. Yeah, we can accept your money. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they've invested through me. But now I feel sick. That same happiness has now been ruined with sickness because I feel responsible that the masjid, and now I have to get them that money back. And it's not a small amount of money, it's a lot of money that we're talking about. But inshallah, Allah will help me find a way.
Inshallah, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for your brother.
Sure.
If you want to take a minute, inshallah, I understand because like
No, 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 alhamdulillah, I'm good, man. I'm sorry, man. But
no,
the
it's
thing
okay.
is, it's real, man. It's hard. It's not been easy. And bro, I've been getting death threats. I've been getting, I'll tell you something. Alhamdulillah, the people that invested with me, they know I'm legit. And so they know that I wasn't involved because they spoke with me. They can sense that I'm a good person. But the lies that Aqib's putting online and the messages and the information, Imran's got your money, Imran stole your money, Imran Farouk, people I've never spoken to are ringing me saying, I'm coming to you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But I've been getting death threats, numerous from people who don't know me that I never spoke to, but they believe that I was involved in this scam. So they believe that I'm a bad person. Does that make sense? And it's like that's not easy. It's not easy. And like I'm upset. Yeah, I am upset. But my friend Jabran, he's been getting it worse because he made so much. So people think 100% this guy must have known. But me, like, and obviously Aki was sending out because 1 month, I must have made 70K with him. No other months did I make something like that, but 1 month I must have made 70K. So he put out on messages, Imran made 70K a month. Do you get it? Like Imran made so the people have this illusion that I'm some rich guy. I'm not a rich guy, man. Like, yeah. But
That's crazy. So the guy with millions, who's the head of the
yeah,
whole thing, ran away with millions, cannot be
yeah,
found, is saying, look,
yeah.
he made 70K. Look, he made
Yeah.
700.
Get the money from him. Get the money from him. And also, he was extorting us. One of the messages that he sent me, which I didn't even send you, he literally said, like, Imran, you made 70K. You had intricate knowledge of the done for you business model. If you don't return this money to me within 24 hours, I'm going to release your information and your pay slips online. Like, basically extorting and blackmailing me and the
So
whole team, all of
the
us.
the head of the whole problem, the snake, the scammer
A snake.
himself,
So,
is
yeah,
saying you, Imran, need
yeah,
to give me money.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. The audacity of this shaitan.
And then he's saying to people, Imran beat me up, Imran attacked me, Imran's a bully, Imran's a thug. Bro, it's
That's
crazy, crazy.
terrible, terrible.
If I wanted to hurt him, my brother, bro, I could have done anything to him. I could have done anything I wanted to him. But at the time when I had him, again, people like, Imran, why didn't you clear him out? Imran, why did you get all our money out? At the time, I didn't believe he was going to do this. At the time, I still believed that he'd made mistakes. I still believed that he was trying to fix it. Like people don't understand that. Like that I still believe that we had a real product, a real
Yeah.
legacy program that we were gonna try and help fix and I was willing to work for free. Jabran was gonna work for free. A lot of the top people in the team, what a lot of these investors that are all attacking us, they don't even realize most of us were really ready to work for free to help them. But now we're getting thrown and dragged under the mud. Like me, I'm not, alhamdulillah, I know Allah will protect me. I'm not worried, right? Like physical violence, I know people say what they want to say. You do get some scared sometimes. You do, of course. I'm only human, but I'm not so like it's not something that's making me lose sleep. The threats. I know people are angry. I don't know what like nothing's gonna happen to me in real life. But other people, they're not like me and they are scared and they are worried. And yeah, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
I
I
never had a
can
panic
imagine.
attack in my life, man. I never knew what to experience. Like, but I was wearing my watch, my Apple Watch, and it just suddenly said like heart rate, like something was going wrong. Like I was like, what the hell? And my heart was just pounding. I couldn't breathe. It was crazy. Like, but like, don't get me wrong. Like, alhamdulillah, I don't want to say like I don't want you to feel sorry for me. The last few days have been all right. Like I've been in a much better place. It seems like it's starting to like think. But then today, did you see what he said today, bro? Check this out. Check this out. Look at the message he's sending out today. Still, he doesn't stop. Imran Farouk admits he grabbed me, he abused me, physically punched me in my face so many times, threatened me to lie and say certain things like the sales team wasn't involved, but they were heavily responsible. Imran is an abuser. He lied and badly deceived me. This leaked audio was from a masjid meeting. So, to give you some context real quick, okay, last bit of the story, and then, no, in fact, yeah, let me just quickly tell you one thing that happened. One thing that happened was when it started to unravel and Aaqib was kind of like on the run, a brother from America had invested. He flew from New York to England to try to find Aaqib, to try to find answers. Now, I got wind, I heard from somebody that there was this guy from America was going around Milton Keynes trying to find Aaqib, trying to get answers. And I felt bad for the brother. So I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna go down to see him. And then apparently we heard he had arranged a meeting with Akib's family. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Milton Keynes. I need to be there so they can understand, Akib doesn't lie or the family doesn't lie, or I want this guy to know the truth. It's also my responsibility. I feel like it's like hospitality. He's come from America. We're in England. He's lost out. It's like it's the right thing to do. Show him some love, show him some kindness, take him for food, let him know he's not the only one, help him if there's anything I can do to help him. Anyway, the guy comes, I go down to the mosque, and obviously I say to the people in the team, it'd be good if more of us can come because the more of us shows unity, and we don't know how many people are going to be there. We don't know what people are going to say, but then they'll know, not this many people can be lying. Anyway, we go down to the mosque. Soon as I meet the brother, I smile, I greet him, I hug him, and straight away he's accusatory. He's like very aggressive with me. But by the way, I forgive this brother for the sake of Allah. I've got no issues against him. Alhamdulillah, he's apologized to me. If I skip ahead, he's apologized to me since. But at this moment in time, he was accusatory, he was very judgmental, he was very aggressive. And obviously, naturally, he's come to a foreign country, he doesn't know what's going on, someone scammed him, now all these guys have come down. And so he's created some story in his head. But the point I'm trying to get to, there was purpose. Yeah. While I was there, I told this guy the full truth. I said, look, November the 2nd is when I found out. November the 5th, I told the team. This is what happened. But you know what the brother did? This American guy did. He was recording me while I was in the masjid talking to him. So he recorded our private conversation where I was telling him everything. But alhamdulillah, what he don't understand is Allah's the best of planners. Because his video recording, his audio recording corroborated everything that I said in my statement. Subhanallah. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is because later, a few days later, this American brother tried to expose me, saying I've got a confession from Imran. Imran knew ahead of time, and he released my audio, bit of my audio, right? He clipped it, very clever. But alhamdulillah, the same day I released my statement, it's exactly the same. And I said, brother, wallah, thank you. Allah is the best of planners. You think you're using this to expose me? This just corroborates and shows extra evidence that I'm truthful, right? But that same day, Aaqib also clipped part of that call, and this is what he clips. Listen to this.
Context. So you might think, like, obviously part of why this is all now maybe spiraling out for him, we're getting to the bottom of it, is because you're down here putting pressure on him and he's putting up posts. But the thing is, the actual timeline is there was an event on the 2nd of November.
I know in London.
A live event in London. So I went to the live event in London, and I'm the one that grabbed him privately, took him to the side, and I pressed him because a lot of things weren't making sense. I seen he wasn't paying people properly on time. I'd stopped working for him for a month. I paused my calendar. I started speaking to him. I said, look, I think you're
There. So just that little clip that's saying I grabbed him, bro. This doesn't even prove anything because that's exactly what I'm saying I did. But he's clipped this little clip and he's forwarded it into all these groups of these investors. One sec. See now, and I got another client threatening me. This is what I'm on about. Someone's threatening to take legal action against me after I've helped him, after I exposed Aaqib. This is the kind of stress that you just can't deal with, man. It's crazy, my brother.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you. I hope that these videos that I plan on putting out, and hopefully other people make videos about it, will expose the truth and put, the spotlight back on the actual scammer and let everyone know that everyone here is a victim except him. Literally everyone else is a victim except him, and maybe some investors that knew and were complicit in it, showing up to the meetings and endorsing or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Nah, alhamdulillah. Sorry, man, my head's just gone again because I wasn't expecting this, man. Like I thought, I just thought I'd get this is what I'm on about. Like, this is the reality of the situation. But just when you get a 2-3 days good and you start to get a bit of normalcy and you're starting to feel a bit like relaxed, now I've got that anxiety feeling in me again because I don't even know how to respond. I don't even know what to say. Like this guy's literally saying that he's gonna take me to court and I need to respond to him now. Like he's putting demands on me. Like, who does this guy think he is? Like, obviously, but I can't be angry because I have to have empathy. But at the same time, I am angry because it's like, how can you not see the truth? Why are you still coming at me? But the reason he's coming at me is because of all these messages Aaqib keeps putting out there and people are believing the lies.
I think also at the same time, it's very possible that people really just still don't know what's going on. So they're messaging Aaqib this, and they're messaging you this, and they're messaging everyone this. Because they just want to cast a wide net, because what else they send a message that doesn't fix anything for them. They're like, well, let me keep sending messages. They think it's gonna help get rid of this feeling that they feel, the insecurity, the worry, the scare. I need to do something to fix it. Especially guys, they're like, I need to do something about it. They're gonna message everyone about it.
No, you're right. I don't know, man, but now I just got to read his message later when I can clear my head and figure out how to respond.
Inshallah.
But you have any other questions? I feel like maybe I've missed a few parts, but I think you get the general consensus. You kind of know how it came to light now. The thing is, this is how it got exposed. And yeah, alhamdulillah, like I know I did the right thing because I tried my hardest to continue to work with him to fix it. But once I saw that just wasn't a possibility, because he was just continued to lie, still not paying anyone. Like, imagine he hadn't paid staff members for 6 weeks. You know, me, alhamdulillah, it was different. I had money because I'd made previous good money with him. But other people hadn't. You know, people were just making normal 1,000, 2,000 a month. Like they had bills to pay. Like even staff members, you know, were struggling for money. I paid staff members myself money. But look, everything happens for a reason, and I don't know. I just hope there'll be some khair, some good will come from this. But Aaqib is evil. He's an evil sociopath, and the way he's acting, and you know, I've got messages where he's saying to me, Imran, I would take a bullet for you. And the thing is, because I'm an honest guy, I just believed him. He's like, Imran, if this doesn't get like basically I've got whole messages where he's like, Imran, if this doesn't work out and it goes tits up and we can't fix it, I'll always protect you guys because it was me, it was my responsibility. You guys didn't know anything. You've only tried to help me. Thank you so much. I would take a bullet for you guys. And now he's extorting me. Now he's putting my address online. Now he's telling people to come to me. Imran's got your money. Now I'm getting death threats daily. Now I'm getting lawsuits put on my name. It's sad because this client don't even understand. He's going to waste money trying to come for me. I'm just a victim. He's going to waste money. He's not going to get anything.
SubhanAllah. Truly, wallah, like it's very heartbreaking. And this, like he's such a shaitan. Like he's such a devil.
He's evil.
It's so evil. This is exactly how shaitan acts. You know, like he'll encourage you and give you some kind of benefit, and he'll make you feel like you're winning and succeeding, like he's on your team. And then as soon as you're at the lowest point, he runs away and he throws more evil onto you. Like the story of Barsissa. He was like a monk, a pious man from the children of Israel. Long story short, since people trusted him, they gave him basically the responsibility. Four brothers gave him the responsibility of taking care of their sister while they were traveling for like a year or so. Eventually, he ended up doing haram with the sister. He ended up sleeping with her, got her pregnant. And then Shaitan brought him further and further into evil. He was like, no one can know about this. So he ends up killing the baby and the girl and burying them. The brothers get back, and Shaitan basically appears to them in a dream and says, your sister's buried here. You could see some of her cloth sticking up from the dirt. They all have the same dream. They go and they find it. And they go to him. They take him to the authorities. And while he's being dragged away to be executed, Shaitan said, I got you in this situation. I can get you out. Just worship me. And the man worshipped him. And then Shaitan disappeared. And that's the state that he died in. This man, I don't think is any different. I don't think he's any different to that Shaitan in that story. He will happily send innocent people. Well, this guy wasn't innocent, but he'll happily send people to the grave and have them take blame and have them be put, crucified essentially. And he's going to disappear and run away with the money. This is the most evil thing in the world.
I don't even know what to say, what to think, what I would do if I saw him. I just can't believe he would do this to so many Muslims. And I just don't understand why he's so deluded in his lies, in continuing giving people hope, saying that I'm going to pay you your money back when he has zero intention to do this. And he has no ability to do this. He has no capacity to do it.
Yeah.
And when he had his chance, all he had to do was pay the staff. If he just paid the staff and he'd paid the agency, wallah, everything would be fine. People would be upset, but people would be getting their money back.
Wow. I mean, even if like he only has like a percentage of the money left, like at least everyone gets 60% of their initial investment, something, But he seems like he just wants the money for himself to run away, and he's living this lavish life in his head that he's gonna have millions of dollars and live like a king.
Even when I was speaking with him in Milton Keynes, when I met him at that restaurant, and I was pressuring him, like, why did you do this? How did it begin? He told me, I got greedy and I just loved the money. But I didn't let him do that on recording, like when I video recorded him, because I said, if you say that to clients, they're going to go crazy. I go, so you just have to say that you made mistakes. Do you get what I mean? Because I was trying to fix the business still.
Yeah, subhanAllah. Yeah, it's a very, very messy situation, but I think that's a very good breakdown of what happened. And your perspective, I think, is very key for people understanding what really happened, because like this is still fresh. You're talking about November 2nd. That's less than 30 days ago. This is still fresh. It's still happening. And I think, inshallah, over the next few months, it'll become clear. Over the next 3 years, maybe it'll all be settled with the lawsuits and everything. And the authorities will get involved, inshallah. Hopefully he'll be caught. And
that's the goal. That's the goal. So that's why, like, what I want to do is, like, press the legal, start with the legal tomorrow. I'll update you. I'll message you how that call goes, so you know what's happening next, just so you know for your own timeline. And inshallah, I just want to try and organize a class action lawsuit against him, and then get CZJs put on his accounts, just get them frozen, and then we just need him arrested, man. And he needs to stop this evil that he's doing.
Yeah, yeah, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow justice to be established in this life and in the next, as He promises. Make it easy for all the victims. Allow this man to be caught. Allow him to be punished. Allow him to amend his ways if possible. If not, then punish him for his wrongdoing. And again, make it easy for all the victims. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for sharing your side of the story. May Allah make it easy for you and for your family. I know that I can only imagine how difficult this is. And I hope that inshallah soon everything just rolls over and calms down.
Thank you for the work that you're doing as well by, shedding light on the story. Thank you for taking your time with me to listen to my story. I appreciate that. Inshallah, I'll make it easy for you as well on how you want to convey this message. And if there's anything else you need from me, just message me. I'm here. I'm available. Yeah.
Jazakallah. Allah bless you. Thank you so much, brother.
Yes. Thanks. Salam then, my brother.
I swear by Allah that everything I say is the truth exactly as I remember it.
Okay, perfect. And just to be clear, if there's anything that you want to add to the story that you're not absolutely sure is a fact, that you'll just say that, this I heard or this is speculation, but something to that extent so we know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So were you an investor, an employee, or both?
I was an investor.
Okay. And in total, how much did you invest?
In total, 120, and plus payouts would have been up to 150.
150. Okay, so we'll get into that part, inshallah, in a bit. Did you ever meet or speak to Aaqib Ahmed himself, or was everything done through one of the sales reps?
I actually met Aaqib Ahmed many, many years ago in England when I was doing an event. And Aaqib Ahmed has known me since 2010. So he knew I was a government welfare check. I was a single mom. He knew my situation. And we were in the same prosperous Muslim groups as we were all kind of growing our business at that time. So he's known me for a very long time. But in this situation, I actually hadn't spoken or followed Aaqib Ahmed for many, many, many years. And it was Jabran Khan, who was the male sales rep. Because I am in the remote closing world, and I got introduced to him through one of my mentors. So I met him and I was on some calls with him, and I donated to his charity in Gambia. He's building schools there. So I got to know the brother online in some of the work that he did. And we got talking, and he found out that I had gotten injured and I had a concussion and I was having a really hard time doing the work that I was doing, and I had burnout around May. And so he came to me in June and he said, hey, I've got this opportunity. And he sold me that opportunity. And I had a very long discussion with him, phone calls, he's in England, text messages, Facebook messages. And I said, Brother Jabran, this is not my money, it's Tariq's money. And so he knew from the beginning, and he said, no, we don't do guarantees or promises. We just fulfill, and you will get this. Not one person has lost any money in the last 5 years.
That's quite the claim for them to make, subhanAllah. Do you think that Jabran knew what was going on, or do you think that he was a victim in his own way to Aaqib Ahmed?
There's a lot of speculation. I would rather just lean on, I don't know who the players are.
Yeah. Okay.
Allah knows.
Okay. So when did things start to fall apart? When did you realize that, what they're promising isn't all it's meant to be?
When November came. And because I get a payout on the 6th, the 5th or the 6th of the month, and they'll break it up. So July came, I got the payment, the payout. And August came, and then Aaqib said, hey, you know what? You're at this level. Why don't you upgrade to 100 and I'll give you this payout? And I'm like, I'm not really sure. And he was like, how about I do a better deal for you? It was always like that coaxing. And so the only way I'd be able to do it is give some of my own money. But he's like, let's put the payout towards it. So that happened in August, that happened in September, that happened in October. So I never really got the full so-called payout. And then November 6th came. It was like around the 5th or 6th. And I was like, what's happening here? And I sent messages to find out. And then suddenly I get a long email saying, we are stopping all payments until December the 15th. And I'll make a note that I'll send you that letter so you have that as well. I'll just make a note here. And I was like, what do you mean? Like mentally, I had spent that money on my bills and Tariq's stuff and his medication and his physio. And all I had to do was like, okay, alhamdulillah, this is coming, but it didn't come. And then it wasn't even 48 hours later. It was like the whole cart just fell over. We started, I say we because I know now because I'm in so many groups of victims, emails after emails, one from the sales team, one from Aaqib, and all of it, the house of cards just came crumbling down.
Okay. So how would you describe Aaqib Ahmed?
Would I describe him? Had it not been for Jabran, I wouldn't have invested any money with this person. I found him in the past to be immature and just not very, very competent.
Yeah.
And so all these years went by, and with Jabran on the scene, and I looked at Jabran as a force, as a very kind person who does charity, and he's very savvy, very smart. And my question was always, how did Aaqib surround himself with all of these really powerful, strong, savvy people? And that is what influenced me to make that decision.
I see. I see. So, okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask a few questions because I would like specific answers to things so I can include them in the video. And then I want to jump back to the beginning and focus on your personal story and kind of go in chronological order of everything. So we can make sure that you get everything that there is to say about the situation out there, inshallah. So describe the emotions. I know this is going to be a bit of a difficult question to answer, but can you describe some of the emotions that you felt when you realized that, as you say, the house of cards came tumbling down and that essentially you had been scammed?
Wow. First, there was just this panic of, Ya Allah, what has happened here? Then there was embarrassment, shame. I mean, it took me 14 years, $50, $100, $200 to save this here and here and here. And I never told my kids about it. I wanted this to be a surprise. And so I felt so stupid. I felt like a total idiot. And then I just fell into shame and I put my head on the masala and I was like, Ya Allah, how am I going to answer to you that I lost Tariq's money? You gave me this child to care for. And the only thing I want is for Allah to be happy with me. And here I just went and trusted people. And then it was fear and hopelessness. And I was counting on that to pay my rent. And it was like, what just happened? Like I went from, wow, all of this. And I even told Jabran, this is like a dua come true. And it was shattering. It was shattering because my world just crumbled in that moment.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you and for everyone and allow you guys to recoup the money that you lost and heal everyone, because I understand how traumatizing this could be. I heard a lot of different victims come forth and say that they don't know if they can trust anyone who says wallahi or anyone who speaks about Islam or about Allah or about the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So I feel like this really put a dent in the community, unfortunately. But let's start from the beginning. Describe your life and the situation with you and your family, your finances, before you got this opportunity presented to you by Jabran.
So I've been I would call myself a stay-at-home mom. I've had a remote business because that was the only way I could make it work with my children. It just doesn't make sense to get paid $15 an hour and then I need $25 to $30 for someone to care for Tariq. And Allah really opened my doors. I had two very successful businesses that I grew that are closed down now. And after COVID, I got into the remote closing space. And because, mashallah, I've had some really good relationships, I got hired really quickly. So I've been on multiple different offers, helping coaches and consultants close them. I've been a recruiter. I'm a sales trainer. So I've done all of this for other people. And if you look at my life, it's been pretty consistent. Like I wouldn't consider myself rich, but I consider myself wealthy. I have peace of mind. My bills are paid. I don't have to ask anyone for money. And Allah has been so bountiful. So the peace is everything. My children, I just have Tariq living with me now. All the others are graduated. They're on their own. And just the youngest, Hamza, he's in university, so he comes home summer, reading week, and like Christmas and things like that. So that's kind of my life.
MashaAllah. And so let's jump to after you first invested. You said you kept it a secret because you wanted it to be a surprise. How did you feel about the first few months when you were getting payouts? Was there any like red flag in the beginning at all, or was it just like, I trust these people, so far I'm making money and it seems good?
Yeah, 100%. No red flags whatsoever. I felt like I had a few more dollars come in the door, so I was asking my kids if they needed any help. And so I shared the money. That's what moms do.
Absolutely. So when it came out that, you weren't going to get the payout, and then it came out that everything was a scheme, a scam, when Jabran released that letter and the ex-employees kind of came together and released these statements saying that Aaqib Ahmed ran away with the money. I know this might be a difficult question to answer, but how did that affect your family? How did that affect Tariq specifically?
Tariq's emotional and mental state is directly connected to mine because I've been his sole caregiver in this country for 33 years. So I had to really try hard to not cry in front of him, but I couldn't stop crying. They were a few days. I was such a mess. And I was just saying my du'as and my dhikr. And then I started vomiting just from the lack of control. It's like, and I kept just saying to Allah, I said, Allah, if this thing takes me away from you, I'm a loser. But if this thing brings me closer to you, then I win. And I just had to say that over and over and over again because the dunya is a test. This one really hit hard. And then I just sat down and I had to really tell Tariq because he's like, what's happening? And he started getting emotional and he started getting upset and he started acting out. And I had to just calm myself. But those first 10 days, Rami, it was so hard to sleep. It was so hard to wake up. And I just had to say, what do I have control over? And the only thing I could control was pray on time. Just pray on time. I said to myself, that's the only thing you need to do. Just take care of Tariq and pray on time. And then I decided that I was going to start a healing group, create a WhatsApp group just for healing, because I have a lot of healing certifications in my own background and to help the victims. And we would get together every day if we could and just get everyone to just get this out, because I was like, we can't allow this to fester in our bodies. So we get on the call and just vent. And I was like, this group is not for legal help. It's just emotional, mental, and spiritual. And we made dua together. And that's when the shift started happening. Everyone was coming on. And by me supporting everyone else, Allah started to heal me inside.
MashaAllah. May Allah bless you immensely for that. It takes a strong person to, when they're down, when they're in such a tough position, to be able to reach out and help multiple other people who are in a similar position. So may Allah bless you for that. Alhamdulillah. And I think that based on what I've seen and heard, that group did help a lot of people. Alhamdulillah. Could you describe Tariq's condition a little bit? Just the health side of things. What condition does he have? And what does he need done? And what was the money supposed to get done for him?
Tariq has cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegic, and scoliosis, meaning he can't walk, he can't get out of his chair, he can't go to the fridge and get water or milk, he can't go to the toilet, he can't change himself or brush his teeth, and he's in pain. For us to do the surgery here, we can do it in Canada because Canada healthcare is covered, but it would take 4 to 5 years. And so that money, I was so excited about the payouts I was getting because I was like, okay, I have this 120, and if I add all of this, I'll be able to fly him properly, take a PSW properly, get the surgery, get support instead of me burning out because I've got caregiver burnout and all of that. It's just been too long. And that money would have helped me do all of this seamlessly. The money is also for physio, aftercare, because it takes 6 months to a year of physio, medications, PSW, so I'm not on call 24/7, and hopefully an accessible vehicle, because we have no way of transporting Tariq anywhere. So we take the bus and we take Wheel-Trans and things like that in the GTA. And so that's what that was for.
Wow, subhanallah. So what would this surgery and all this treatment done for Tariq? What was the hopeful end goal of all of the treatments and the therapy after surgery?
Pain-free living and dignity.
SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. Aaqib Ahmed kept promising you in the text messages that you showed me and everyone else through videos and through private messages that he's working to get everyone paid and give everyone's money back and so on and so forth. You say that you used to know him personally, so one would imagine that at the very least he would want to give you at least a portion of your money back, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Do you think that he just does not want to give the money? Do you think that he doesn't have the money, or do you think that he's planning on keeping it and just stringing everyone along?
Yeah, I spent the last few days really studying this type of personality, and we're a special case. I know a woman whose child has got spina bifida. I know Sister Ikram whose father's got stage 4 cancer. I know pensioners. I know people in Africa, poor people. I know people who gave the money because they wanted to do hijrah. For him not to even give $1, $1, £1 to anyone speaks volumes. And you can say a lot of things, and you can use Islam and Allah and Jannah driven and purpose driven, and I dream of Jibreel alayhi salam and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But don't you think Allah's keeping score? And the hypocritical nature of the conversations is very telling. There's been no action. It's only been taking and stealing and lying. That's all we have experienced. Yeah. And so Aaqib Ahmed sent me another text message last week, and I'll send you that screenshot. And he says, because he was claiming how much he loves Tariq. And I said to him, if you love Tariq, you should return his money, because love is not just a word, it's an action.
Yeah.
And then he continues and he says, I spoke to a sheikh, and the sheikh said, it's not good to die with debt. So I'm promising to pay everyone back. I didn't even respond, Brother Rami, because I'm thinking to myself, number one, didn't your parents teach you not to lie and steal? And this is not debt, brother. Debt is when I say, can I borrow $100 and I'll return it next week or 2 weeks or 1 month? That's debt. This is intentionally, deliberately stealing money.
Which is a severe, severe crime in Islam. It's one of the major sins.
Wallahi, Brother Rami, I've made dua for this boy because I'd rather be on this side without the money than what he's doing as a believer.
Yeah. SubhanAllah al-Azim. I guess to end off, my final question would be, are there any other important facts or details that are important to the story that we didn't get to cover yet? No, that's everything.
You covered it.
Alhamdulillah. طيب. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you immensely, make it easy for you and your family, grant Tariq shifa, allow you guys to recoup your money, and moreover, bless you guys in this life and the next, reward you for going through this with patience, with sabr, and with tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to establish justice in this life and the next, and unite the ummah upon truth and not upon falsehood.
Allah khairan for your time and your effort and your diligence to get this right, Brother Rami. May Allah make this heavy on the right side of your scale.
Ameen ya Rabb.
Wallahi, everything's the truth, according to my best judgment and my best recollections.
All right, perfect. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So were you Moko? We'll leave him in the shot. We'll leave him for the shot. Were you an investor or an employee or both?
I was an investor.
And how much did you invest?
I did the 20K USD.
Wow, 20,000 USD. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Aaqib Ahmed himself?
Never in person. I talked to him over the phone.
Okay. So you spoke to him over the phone. When was this?
This was around April 20th range.
April 20th. And that was around the time you invested. So you spoke with him initially.
Correct, yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you first realize things were starting to fall apart or didn't seem to be what?
You know, because the amount, I was kind of concerned because he was supposed to review the business with me every Sunday.
Mm.
I think it stated that in the contract, or I think the recruiter stated that to me, that every Sunday we'll review the business. So I was kind of like, I asked him, I texted him, I said, so are we gonna review the business? So that never happened. So I was like, okay, man, that's flag one. That's flag number one.
Yeah. Were there other red flags?
Yeah, other red flag was I had to constantly remind him on my day of payment. I was like, okay, that's because I was thinking it should have been automatic.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to remind him. That was another thing I had an issue with. And then that was during the first month. I was like, okay, wow, the first month of payout. So I was like, that's kind of, you know. Then I think I asked him. I said, how did the business do this month? He said he had to look at it, and then he gave me because my profit range was from 2,000 to 3,000 a month.
Wow.
So he said based on the business results I made that first month I made like 2,100. I was like, okay. I was like, man, how did you get that number? I was like, you know, where are the business results? You know, because I was like, okay, that was a flag too. So I was like, man, where are you getting these numbers from? There was no transparency.
So he just said, "Oh, you made 2,100." That's it. He didn't explain how or why.
Yeah, he said based off how the business was doing, that was the message he sent me based off the business for this month. You know, you made $2,100. I was like, okay.
Wow. And was this the sales guy who initially sold you, or was this Aaqib Ahmed?
Yeah, so the sales guys, so Aaqib Ahmed want to talk to me. He told me, you know, his sales guy he was going to send me the sales guy's information. And so the sales guys, he further explained, you know, the contract situation and, you know, how it works. So the sales guys is really the person who really convinced me, you know, because I was just trying to hear them out, and he put pressure on me, like, you know, invest because we have so many investors, and if you don't take advantage now, you're not gonna have a chance. You know that kind of
Yeah.
spiel. I was like, okay, man. It made me believe that, you know, if I didn't jump on now, I would miss the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. They create a sense of urgency
Yeah.
and make you feel FOMO. You know, you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, so I kind of blame the sales guy more than Aaqib.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, in my situation, yeah, because even after like the second month, he was constantly asking me to invest.
I
You know,
see.
we have promotions, especially like during like Eid.
Mm.
You know, we have Eid promo going on.
Oh,
Go ahead and
wow.
invest. Yeah, yeah. So it was like, but see, like I said, I was always on the fence because I was like, man, I gotta wait this out to see how, because I was gonna invest more because like it's because the numbers sound too good. But I was like, let me just wait a year, see how it goes out. And if it goes out well, I will invest more. But like I said, I just wasn't comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable investing anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, how would you describe Aaqib Ahmed?
How I describe it? I would describe him as an enemy. I mean, somebody who's just a, you know, disgusting human being, you know, what I mean, just to use Islam, you know, to gain a worldly favor. And the fact that he took money from like, you know, single woman, sick people, you know, he's just a, you know, just a real evil person, you know. They preyed on Muslim people too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's the thing, you know, like, you know, most Muslims, you know, especially you start saying, you know, I mean, because most Muslims we take that serious. You know, we take Allah's name serious. You start saying Allah, I fear Allah. You know, I mean, because why would you lie about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, who does that? Who lies about the deen? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so yeah, once you say you fear Allah, you know, and you doing tahajjud,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a detestable thing. It's
yeah,
it's a shaitan.
he throws all that stuff in tahajjud, I fear Allah, and like
Wow.
I said, so that puts your guard down because you're like, man, like I said, most people don't lie about that, you know? Who gonna lie about that? But like I said, at the end of the day, though, you know, I wasn't affected emotionally by it because at the end of the day, you know, he has to answer to Allah for his, because I mean, material comes and goes.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, I mean, the money that he took, I mean, that I lost, it didn't hurt me. But like I said, it was still my right.
Yeah.
But was I hurt by it financially? I wasn't, but because I've been an investor for years. I've been investing for years, but like that's why I gave the minimum amount because I was waiting it out to
20K was
see.
the minimum?
I think the minimum was 10,
I see. I see.
but I think 20K was I was comfortable with that. I was comfortable with taking the chance with that because
Yeah.
like I said, I guaranteed like two to 3,000 a month,
Yeah.
and I didn't have no income coming in, so I was like, okay, I can take a chance. But you had other people who invested like their whole life savings,
Yeah. Yeah. Some
which
people
is
invested 100,000, 120,000.
I know that's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's a shame.
I do have some more questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Questions in regards to, so like the sales team. Some people speculate that the sales team was in on it and that they knew what was happening, or some people speculate that the higher managers of the sales team knew what happened.
Yeah.
And others speculate, including the ex-sales team, they're alleging that only Ahmed knew about it. On the sales team found out later that things didn't add up, and they
Mm,
confronted him about it. There's a lot of recordings of them, confronting him about it. So to me, their story seems to make sense. A lot of them invested
yeah.
themselves as well,
Okay.
and had family and friends, direct family
Okay.
and friends invest.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's plausible that the sales team knew what was going on?
That's a that's a good question because I know like my salesperson. I talked to another sister recently. She said the same salesperson we had back in October, just as recently as October. She invested 65K. I don't want to say exactly. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. She invested a large sum of money, or that person invested a large sum of money back in October, and we had the same salesperson. And that same person, I texted him back in August, and he didn't respond to me until November. Yeah. So, and even recently, he sent me a text message saying that as a sales team, we're responsible to pay you back because that money is not halal. And I texted him and said, okay, so what's the payment? What's the repayment plan? And he never responded. So stuff like that raises red flags to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't confirm, but the lack of communication. And then that same person even removed his Facebook profile.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
it's
so
completely down.
he removed his Facebook picture. Yeah, so I mean, if you have no worries, why these behaviors?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're getting attacked by a lot of people, especially the people who are higher up. They're trying to remain low key because they're getting like death threats and threats, against their family and all this stuff. So I think a lot of them went into panic mode and then just tried to
Yeah,
erase
but
their
but
existence.
like I said, but me and him one on one, he knew I was in Mecca. He asked me to make dua for him. I said, yeah, no problem. He knew I was making Hajj and stuff. So he, like I said, he knew me. He knew I was not a threat to. I wasn't gonna make no death threat in Mecca, because sins are magnified.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do anything wrong in Mecca, and he knew that. So, like I said, on my end, though, all I wanted was, just a response. Like, don't respond to me. Like I said, there was I think at least a 2 month period where he didn't even respond to me. So I was like, okay, that's weird.
Wow. SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the situation now
Regarding what?
regarding Aqib Ahmed, Muslim pioneer, the money? Do you know what happened? Was it Aqib who ran away with the money? Did you get your money back? Are you trying to get it back? Did you do anything
Yeah.
like that?
So I'm doing it. I did the PayPal, so I'm doing this dispute with PayPal, but it's been over 180 days, so I don't think I'll be successful. I did. He did pay me back. He did pay me back $12,800. So, like I said, I was just hoping, I was just praying for another. Like I said, I knew it was a fake, but I was just praying that another 4 months would go by where I'll be paid out. But it didn't last that long. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm in a dispute process right now. Like I said, I doubt I'll be successful.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we get a lawyer and they do some due diligence. He gets sued in jail time, so that's the hope here, inshallah, yeah.
Allah. He keeps doing this thing, whether it's in like posts or videos where he says, I'm trying to get everyone their money back. I'm trying over the next 6 to 24 months to
Yeah,
work out a plan to get everyone their money back. And then he
yeah,
says, you can call the police on me, you can sue me, take me to court, you can expose me publicly, but then you're not going to get your money back. It's going to create more issues for you getting your money back. And
yeah, I
it
saw
seems like
that,
a
yeah.
very demonic and scammy way to try and stay out
Yeah,
of trouble. Don't call the cops on me, even though I committed a federal crime. Don't call the cops on me because then you're not going to get your money back. It's really messed up.
Yeah, it is. It is messed up. But then, like, he's not a credible person. Like I said, anytime a person lies, with a law's name, I just, he loses all credibility. And also, too, the bad thing is that I hate to say that, but I would second guess anybody that says, in Allah's name going forward because, he destroyed that trust. That's the problem, like that trust, with Allah's sacred name. I don't trust people no more. You can say that name all you want to. I still am not gonna trust you because, like I said, because he violated that. That's the problem. That's the damage that he did because he was in a position of like a position of authority. So he made me lose that trust with people who speak with Islamic terminology. The trust is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it sucks. It's terrible, but unfortunately, people like this exist and will continue to
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. That's true. But like I said, I wasn't aware of that though. That's the thing. Because that's why I kind of I don't like I said I'm kind of disappointed in the sales team because they should have had like I said even then my recruiter he even sent me a message saying sales are doing good. He said this on I got them on record saying this. Sales are doing good. We're doing really good. Sales was. Why would you tell me that if it's not confirmed? In a way, he was a co-conspiracy. Co-conspiracies.
I see. I see. Yeah.
I mean, I can send you some of his voice recordings.
Yeah.
You
That would
you
that
tell
would that would be great. That would be great if you could.
yeah, like you're telling me that sales are going good and everybody's investing right now. Like, why are you constantly recruiting me?
So he was trying to get you to invest more money?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, constantly, like almost every month. Yeah, brother, we have another promo going on. Blah blah blah. How much can you invest?
I see. Yeah. It's because the sales guys were getting commission and they're thinking, you put this much, you made this much, put more, make more, and then they make more as well because they get a commission.
Yeah, but don't lie and tell me sales are doing good. I mean, that's dishonest.
Yeah.
Especially as a Muslim, you have to be honest, straightforward.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So my last question is just a general one. Are there any extra details or facts that you think are relevant to the story, important to mention, important for people to know?
Yeah, so even after Aaqib knew it was crumbling, late October, at the end of October, he approached me directly, sent me a video message saying invest more, invest in the legacypreneur. It's totally separate and give me an extra 35K. I was like, whoa, okay, man, that's a lot of money. Who has 35K just sitting around? So I was like, I said, I need to think about it. So 3 weeks later, you know, it comes out that it was a Ponzi scheme. So you 3 weeks before you just asked me for 35K and you already knew it was faltering. So that's another thing. And he even swore by Allah that the business was doing good. That's just like I said, he just has no. I mean, like I said, beyond he has no. He's like opposite of taqwa. Opposite.
I swear by Allah, what I'm saying is the truth and nothing but the truth. If I'm unsure of any facts, I will not state it as a fact.
Perfect. Jazakallah khair. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, Abu Maryam, were you an investor or an employee or both?
I was an investor client.
Okay. So how much did you invest?
10K.
10K. And is this pounds?
Yes.
Okay.
So a bit more in dollars.
I see. Did you ever meet Aaqib Ahmed himself?
No.
No. So you worked through a salesperson for his team.
There were two people I had contact with. One was from his sales team.
Okay.
Through Jabran's team, and another person was a person who did everything on behalf of Aaqib, who became my contact.
I got you. Okay. So
it was a sister.
Okay, it was a sister on the team. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the first I
yes.
heard that there was a sister on the team as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did this start? When did you first invest?
Back in June.
Back in June. Okay, so it's been a few months now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 6 months now, yeah.
Wow. So half a year. And how did you feel about it in the beginning? Like, was there some kind of return? Did you feel like, okay, this is legitimate?
First 2 months it seemed okay, But the second month, actually, first month was okay, and it seemed quite genuine. But as I got to the bit where they kept contacting me to invest more, because I didn't do 10K at the same time.
I see.
In June, I did 5,
Okay.
and their minimum, as per their promotion, was 10. They allowed 5 because I didn't have the other 5 at the time. So basically the total was done 2 months later in August. And for those 2 months, I kept getting calls from sales and WhatsApp messages. Do you want to upgrade? Do you want to upgrade? Do you want to upgrade?
Wow.
The first month's payout was as mentioned. So it was actually better than what they said. So I was amazed that they actually gave me more than what they said. So that didn't raise any flags. But then that actually made me upgrade. So I had an upgraded agreement, which never was signed initially through my contact. So I had to pester the system to get it signed. And then I started I started seeing some, not flaws, but I started seeing things change.
I see. Like
So
what?
once,
What things did
yeah,
you notice changed?
this basically, there were 2 or 3 things. One was when I did the upgrade, the sister sent me 2 more invoices, and then when they were paid, and basically I noticed that the contract wasn't signed. So it was a DocuSign, and I kept chasing it. And the only way I got that, first they didn't stick to the agreement, the prices they gave me. So when I signed in June, it was Eid, so they had a different promo.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Aaqib on WhatsApp, and I said I would like to I'm upgrading from 1st of August, and I would like you to stick to the same promo that you gave me and to the same sort of agreement. And he said, okay, I will get your contact, the sister, to contact you end of July. So when the first thing I noticed, they had a very urgency to send the invoices through. So there were PayPal invoices and very urgent to get them through and get them paid to get you. So you don't. So I mean, it wasn't like the other urgencies that you have normally, where you know they're pushing you, like fake investment companies, to invest £250 or whatever. But I noticed a rush, and then I still obviously, this is a Muslim brother, a Muslim sister, a Muslim pioneer, and for the sake of Allah, they trust. We believe in the same God, and for the sake of Allah, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. For the sake of Allah, I overlooked a few things, which you do anyway. You're a brother, I'm a brother. I'm gonna naturally believe 99% what you say. If you're saying it for the sake of Allah, and you're mentioning that continuously, so it kind of makes me not want to question it. And then,
Of course, yeah.
yeah, it's natural because we're human. And then, so when you keep referring back to the same creator and prophet, and then you kind of secure that, that slight doubt that I might have. And then once that was done, I still had a doubt after that, being human, but also being an intellect and also using common sense. I realized, why am I chasing this brother when he signed? First of all, let me finish up what I was saying. I had to contact Aaqib himself on WhatsApp because the contract never got signed on DocuSign on the date when the funds were done. And it's only because I asked him to stick to his word and on the same promo. And he said to the sister, I will honor it because I gave this guy, I had it on WhatsApp, so he couldn't go back on it. He said, I will honor it for you when I spoke to him a month before. So when it came time to actually physically do it, I brought that up again. I said, he said this to me because the sales team were telling me lower. So I said, no, the brother had promised me this. And I said, I've got it on WhatsApp. And then she said, okay, let me go back to Aaqib and speak to him. Then she confirmed it and she said, yes, he's going to stick to his word. He's going to do that for you. So they sent me the incorrect contract first, the upgraded contract. So then I said, can you please amend it? Because I want it the same as my 5K contract. So when they amended it, they never signed it. I signed it, it never got signed. A month went, and then I got a bit concerned. 1st of September. So this was another issue. The date for the payment was 31st. And I noticed Aaqib would do it. The first month he done it near midnight. So before the date changed to 1st. Then I noticed he wouldn't even do it on the 1st. He said to me, yours will be on the 1st, although the contract said 31st. So he just decided to change the date himself. And then on the 1st, it never happened. I had to chase him at the end of the 1st or on the morning of the 2nd. And then he done it straight away. He sent me a WhatsApp, where would you like it sent? And then email, and then wham, bam, he's put it in the paper. So that was the second month. So I got a bit concerned. I said, this guy doesn't look punctual. This guy, he doesn't look professional. And then that was raised a flag for me, to be honest with you. Because, you'd expect a company or someone to that level sticking to its timeline. Why would you make a contract? If I say 31st to you and I'm having you chase me before midnight on the 1st, and then, you're thinking, what's going on? Has he made the higher payouts and he hasn't got anything left? Just, so just like, or is he not bothered because it's not, the top end of the investment? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Any investment is an investment. So, for me, that could be £1 million.
Yeah.
See? For someone else, that could be nothing. It could be pocket change. So it's each for their own, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah? So
Absolutely.
you can't put a marker on it because I've seen people that have done half of that and they're suffering really badly, and they're going through turmoil. But it could be a person's life savings, especially in today's world, how earnings are made. I don't want to disclose how I earned it in terms of the job I do because I don't want to give my industry away. But I think that I think I was gullible simply for the fact that I had a good heart. This guy looked innocent, and for the main reason was the deen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think many people have been blindfolded for that same reason, and many would say, because I'm not an accountant or a lawyer. Well, I'm part qualified accountant, but I would say even in intelligent, HD graduates can easily fall for something like this, because if you're a Muslim and you believe in another Muslim who believes in the same God, who refers everything back to that God, and the way this person set everything up, another funny thing for me was, it was like, when you come across something good, why would you not want to tell your family or friends? He's like, don't tell them yet, wait 4 months. I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
If I come across an offer, I would want to tell you about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So at what point did everything start to like really fall apart? At what point did you realize like, okay, this is a scam?
Okay. I'll be honest with you, I still didn't fall for that because of the fact that knowing he's Muslim, and I didn't label him as fraud or scam because I didn't want to label anyone like that without any evidence. So I gave the brother the benefit of the doubt, even though it sounded gibberish to me or it sounded like something was up, but I still gave it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm gullible, but I said no. What happened is I never got the end of October, 31st of October payment. So 1st of November went, I said I'll give the brother another day because this guy is a little bit slow. He likes to do it a day or two later. And then I think it was 2nd of November, I got a bit concerned and I sent a message. And I got a reply back a few days later saying that something was up. And I can read the message to you if you want, but I'll have to go off the screen then. I don't want to do that. But it was, I'm sure you've heard, many people got the same message. It's been out their statements have been out. You've probably seen them. The message was similar to most people, along the lines of, there's been some issues. I will label it as issues for now, that this month there is no payment going to be made to clients. So that got me a bit concerned at that point. But still, then I thought, okay, they might be reorganizing. There might have been something going on. But I didn't know the inside story. I don't even think that I'm sure their sales team might have known, but I mean, Allah knows best. Then I got concerned. A few days later, we've got the statement through. So, I mean, I don't know if this is factual information. So far, I've given you factual information and real information concerning what's happened and me. But this I heard. So you could call it hearsay or secondary evidence. There's a WhatsApp group I'm on, genuine victims of yeah, Ahmed. And also, I was referred to by the sister. There's another group called Support for Victims. So there's two groups. Now, first the first group, there's quite a lot of people on there, majority of them from the UK. And on that group, I heard that this Aaqib Ahmed's second person, the main contact, head of sales, Jabran, was in Dubai apparently. And they said that he was in Dubai. Allah knows best if he was there for a holiday or whatever reasons. And then he came back suddenly because of this issue arising to basically, I think it was to cut the team off from Aaqib and show him for what it was, what he did. So I think they made it. I'm not sure if it was him in the video, initial video, or we were sent a video where Aaqib admits what he had done, and he had given some contradicting information on himself. But the bottom line was, after watching the video, we realized that what you said is true, that we were scammed, or he had committed fraud. But fraud has not been proven to this date because that's for the authorities to decide. But we feel he admitted to the scam simply because he was using new clients' money to pay off old clients. We don't know if he has any money to date or what he has in his bank. I've gone back to him. So for the last 2 weeks, he had a problem replying back. I know he was getting the messages. And then he started sending automated replies. So he was sending replies that he was sending anyone, because he made a statement on Facebook, then he deleted it. I'm sure everyone knows that. And he was allowing him, I don't know why he was wanting to buy time. He wanted 6 to 24 months to resolve this. I mean, if you wanted to pay somebody back, you don't need 2 years. That's only because either you've put the money somewhere else or there was no money and you were just taking money and giving money. So where has the money gone? Yeah. That's what everyone's asking.
That's the question. Where is it? And if it's with him, how much?
He sent me last week, he sent me 2 pictures because I pressed him hard. I said, I want my refund because everyone was pushing a week ago to report him. So people have reported him to Action Fraud, to his local police station. And obviously people have reported to PayPal and their banks to try and get this reversed or some kind of refund back. I think he sent me 2 pictures from what I can recall, because I don't want to state something I haven't seen. What I can remember is he sent me a picture of a Wise account, which I believe was in the US or UK connected. His Wise account, he said they had closed his account. So I don't know what they know about him. So there was a picture here. I don't know even if it was fabricated. Allah knows best.
Yeah, he has fabricated a lot of evidence.
He's known to change stuff. So I don't even know if that was a real screenshot from his Wise app, or it said his account is closed. Then he sent me a second picture from his NatWest app, UK NatWest app, saying his account has been blocked. So that wasn't closed, that one's blocked. So something's gone on from there. His team member, the guy who sold the DFY to me before I went on to the sister, so his initial sales staff, this brother, I don't doubt that this brother or this sister is involved. That's what my heart says. I personally feel, and I think they're not involved. Allah knows best. But I believe they were investors themselves because they told me that. And they also mentioned they haven't been paid their wages, which was, another disturbing thing. So, nobody works for free nowadays. So I don't know what's happened. Then I've heard stories where people have been getting high commission between 10 to 30%. So I've heard all kinds of stories. So we don't know until this comes out into the open.
Yeah.
But then we don't know who got what, if they got anything. Yeah. Again, Allah knows best. And maybe Aaqib knows as well.
Yeah. Seems to be the only person, only human being with that knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's between him and Allah at the moment.
Yeah. So what were some of the things that he would say to give the illusion that, he fears Allah and that he wouldn't scam, and some of the religious things? You
He
mentioned
got
before.
okay. During the process, they had this course that apparently never got done. I know the course exists because they said to me as a client, you have free access to it. That
Talking
was
about
another flag.
legacypreneur.
Yeah, that was another flag for me. So they're selling a course which is £1,500 and they're giving it free to a client. So I didn't get that. Why would someone pay for that course? Why they not just become a client? And then after a couple of months, the money's back to you and the course is free as well. It just felt, so they were selling a course for, for quite a high value. And then they said, as a client, you can have free access to that course. And I was thinking, okay, they're giving that to me maybe and then there was another flag that was raised. Sorry, the question that you asked me, I forgot I was going to mention something, this
It's
last
okay.
bit that you mentioned.
Yeah, I asked about some of the like
Oh, yes.
Islamicizing of the
Yes, yes, sorry.
situation.
Yeah, they told me about a group called tahajjud.com. I don't know if you heard of that. It's a group, it was a WhatsApp group of people getting up tahajjud time and motivating each other to do tahajjud so they become successful in this life and the next. I was in one of those groups and then something started happening in the group and then they kind of hid everyone's number. So he recreated the group. There was, I think they had Tahajjud UK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. I don't know why he had different groups. Maybe he wanted different people in it, or there were too many in each one. Again, Allah knows best. But I moved group from one group to the other group because people's numbers were showing. In a group you can see the numbers. So then I think he changed it to a group where you can't see who's in it. So he said, so he made it so you don't see the other people in it. I think this might have something to do with it because people started contacting each other, maybe. Again, Allah knows best. So he didn't want people to know other people's numbers, maybe. Again, I'm just guessing. So I don't know why that group was changed. Because if it's a Deen group and it's to do with the Hajj, so what if another brother or sister's numbers were, why would you make that private suddenly, unless something's happened? And then, there was so much that was going on, but again, I said, maybe I'm gullible for the Deen purpose. And because he kept referring to quotes, because he kept referring to people I know in the social media that have benefited from him or know him or he's assisted them. Like, maybe I can't believe this guy has been doing stuff like this, that he's qualified in marketing or digital media or whatever the marketing he does, digital marketing for the last decade. His team said he was in it for about 10 years. So I don't know I still have a gap in my head thinking, did Shaitan attack this guy? Why did he suddenly do this? Or did he genuinely have a good intention to start this DFY or this legacypreneur? And then it just all went pear-shaped.
Yeah.
And then or did he have pressure from someone? And did he just quit or decide to do a runner? Or just woke up one morning and thought, no, I can't handle this. Again, there's questions that need answers. Allah knows best what happened.
Yeah, Allahu Alam. What seems
Yeah.
to be the case, so I've been doing a deep dive into him, into what he's been selling since
Okay.
2009, I believe. He's been promoting Legacypreneur. So that course about how to
It's not
quit the
new.
9 to 5, yeah, it's been around for a long time, and he kept revamping it and changing it up. So I think, oh, actually, what he said in a video where he was exposed, he admitted himself that he started the Done For You course or the Done For You program so people can invest money and they
Mhm.
don't have to do any work. And then
Right.
he said in the video that he realized it's easier to sell the DFY program than it is to sell Legacypreneur. And that's when he just started shuffling money from new investors, new investors to old investors.
So that's very interesting. You mentioned so DFY is not new either.
DFY's been around for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just as like Legacypreneur has. So all he did was he realized that Legacypreneur cannot be sold as much as he thought he could.
Yeah.
Whereas people are more inclined to having it all done for them without doing anything.
Yeah, yeah. I would even guess that he promised the first layer of investors, the first ever DFY investors, that he would invest their money, make legacypreneur sales, and then give them a profit like he planned. And I'm
Hmm.
willing to guess that that failed. He didn't make any legacypreneur sales, but used a bunch of their money and now felt, what am I going to do? And then came up with this scheme, let me bring more investors and then give them profits every month. And then it just has been going on for years. He said there hasn't been any legacypreneur sales since 2022 or 2023. So a year to two of just lies.
You mentioned the sale, but I can actually vouch and say that this course, he has created it and exists on Funnel. He's made funnels, and the Legacypreneur course does exist. I don't know if you've logged into it or seen it.
I personally have not logged in or seen it, but I do know it's a course that exists. It's
Okay.
just not getting
Okay.
as much traction as he
Okay.
pretended it was.
Okay.
Yeah, allegedly, he forged a document saying there's like 12,000 users in there or something, whereas just a few months prior there was only like 200.
And who's verified this? I
So
mean,
he
there's
would he would forge the document himself and send it to his team, like Jabran, Imran, like some of the ex sales
yeah,
employees, the
yeah,
higher guys,
yeah,
and they
yes.
would believe it at first, and then later in the video that I referenced where he exposed himself, he admitted to faking the screenshots.
He even admitted to me that whatever he said, he had to say because he was threatened.
That seems to be, I don't know if it's true or not. It seems to be a lie that he's throwing out there to cover up the fact that he exposed himself, that, oh, I was forced to say that because they were threatening me for whatever reason. Allahu
Allah
alam.
knows best.
Yeah. Allahu alam. It's a very messy
Subhanallah.
situation. But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
We know in Islam, if someone's a liar, they're a liar. They're to be taken as a liar. You shouldn't believe them or their testimony. This man has reportedly lied for multiple years and has been caught and admitted to lying multiple times. If he now comes and says that he was threatened by so and so, why should we believe that he was actually
Yes.
threatened, especially if that person who threatened him allegedly is someone who's known to be fairly trustworthy?
True.
Yeah.
And I mean, this it happens to be the person's linked to him. I think the person worked with him that he accused
Yeah.
of lying. So
Yes.
it does make. I think he's making everyone an scapegoat but himself. Like just he's just looking for a. But one thing that puzzles me is, do you think he planned this or it just happened suddenly? I'm
Planned
just
what specifically?
for it to turn out like this.
I think he would have kept going as long as he could, but he actually got caught. So I was speaking to Imran, and I spoke a bit to Gibran as well, and they essentially caught him. And Imran, I'm gonna put this part off camera, even though it's recording. I'll keep it
Yeah,
off
yeah,
camera.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Imran told me that there was a part where they were at like an event, and he
Mhm.
pulled Aaqib to the side, and it was like a bit like aggressive, like, you need to tell me the truth right now, or else blah 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 blah. Tell me now. And that's when he admitted that he lied and he forged everything and blah blah blah. And Imran realized in that moment, we need to find a way to either fix this or like a lot of people are really going to get burned. So where's the money? How much do you have? And the problem was when Aaqib first admitted, he didn't say I've been running a Ponzi scheme. It's a lie. He said I made some mistakes. So he made it seem like we could still fix it. Just it's going to take a little bit of work. And then later on, more and more lies came out, or sorry, more and more truths got revealed about his lies. And then he admitted on a call with a bunch of his team members that he's been lying for years. There haven't been any sales, and he's been circulating money. And so they were the ones who exposed him. So I think he
So
ran away after getting exposed.
that makes sense because I mean he never told them anything apparently. Like they only believed what he knew everything and they only believed what he told them.
Yeah.
So they trusted him as well for the same reasons.
Exactly. And that base layer, that foundation that's supposed to hold everything up, which is the legacypreneur sales, he either forged documents and slash or just didn't give them access. I just saw a video recording now of a conversation between Jabran and Aaqib, and Aaqib literally said in a voice memo, I don't feel comfortable giving you access to Kajabi. Why not? It's literally the most basic thing. You give them access to charge clients to see how much money's coming in from the sales, to see how much people are getting from commission, to make 10 to 30% commission, but not to this Kajabi sales for this school platform. It didn't make
So
sense.
maybe that's when he realized there is no Kajabi club,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
he's made it up.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. It's a very, very sad and deep story where the lies just keep piling on.
And only, I mean, when normally you run a business or a company, I could be CEO, you could be CFO, there could be other directors, but normally the main heads know what's going on, or or they have access to the funds or the banks. This guy did everything himself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The payouts, he was controlling everything himself.
Yeah, yeah. The funds went, it seems like the funds went to him and he was paying out people directly himself, like going to his laptop or his phone and pressing the
I
buttons.
think he was doing it from his phone because he replied back to my message and put it in PayPal within a minute of
Wow.
me sending him a WhatsApp. I sent him my email address for PayPal, and I believe within a minute he replied back saying done.
Wow, subhanallah, subhanallah. Yeah, so he really just did everything from his
Yeah.
phone and he just kept lying and lying to keep the scam up and the scheme going for years.
I don't even know. Was this guy doing bookkeeping or ever had a proper record, or was it just in and out?
He refers to having a spreadsheet. When he was exposed and he's talking to his sales team, he said that he said something along the lines of there being 5 million pounds, and then one of the sales guys said we did 11 million in the last 3 months, and then the guy was like, I have to look at the spreadsheet, I don't know. So it seems like he has a spreadsheet, maybe only he has access to it with the numbers.
Yeah. So it seems like his own team got suspicious of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
I don't
stuff.
want to obviously. I don't wish to mention who I am, but I've gone through something similar twice before. Sad to say, with Muslims.
Wow, subhanallah.
One, I'm not going to call him. I don't think it's bad still because I'm still in the middle of it. But I would like to mention it just to make other people wary of it. And it could. I'm not saying he's a scam, but one definitely just popularized himself. He was a different version of Akib, but not, on a smaller scale. I mean, it's actually, I don't know, are you in Canada or America?
I'm in Canada.
In Canada, yeah. So you might have heard of this brother, Uthman Timulik.
No, I'm
He
not
used to
familiar.
do, he moved to Dubai. I don't know why everyone seems to move to Dubai, but they're easily found there.
Yeah.
They're basically, he did a YouTube, he used to do YouTube ads.
Wow.
So it wasn't 10K. I gave him just over 2K in GBP, and that this was just a few years after COVID. And then he said that you'd be making a lot back. He had like a referral scheme, but we had to invest in the YouTube ads. So he said, when you've done 1K worth of YouTube ads, you will start seeing the results that he promised or guaranteed. But
Wow.
nothing came through. In fact, I remember to this date, I've got the email. Google Ads, they froze his ad,
Wow.
and his ad actually got blocked. And
Wow.
they said to me, you can't put this ad.
Wow.
So I couldn't even select his ad on YouTube, Google Ads, and pay for it. And the funny thing was, he was only popularizing himself because in the ads was him on the
Nice.
YouTube. So he had
So
made videos of himself.
he
So
was,
we were basically just we were marketing him
wow. Wow. So he
to make
took
money.
money from you to market himself.
Yeah, yeah, but he was. It seemed like a genuine system, and he had people. I mean, his onboarding guy was in Saudi Arabia. The guy that signed me up was in Saudi Arabia, and again, they listen to your sob story. Sorry to say, everyone has some sort of past, or so, and then they kind of come to the understanding of what you've been through, and then you kind of feel like this person knows what what I've been through, and you know they genuinely want to help. It's
Subhanallah.
like, it's okay, brother, we're going to change your life, we're going to do this, and
Wow.
I've noted. And then there was another one. I don't know if you must have heard of this brother, Harun Qureshi, ecom experts.
Yeah.
So I'm not. This is the one I'm not going to label as a scam because I'm in the middle of it. I've actually got a website up on Shopify, and I'm going through his course. So he does give out genuine information on what to do and how to do it. But again, it's very slow in terms of customer service and support. It's like, you've paid him and the communication is great up until they've got the money. And then after that, you just got to keep chasing them. And it's on WhatsApp, you can't even call them.
Wow.
Or they like to use a program called Slack.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm familiar with Slack. Wow. Subhanallah.
Yeah, so everyone's got their own way of doing business, but I believe, if you're providing business or a service or even selling me goods which are Islamic or non-Islamic, you've got to be just with your Muslim brother or sister. And not just that, it doesn't have to even be Muslim. As a Muslim yourself, even if you're selling to a non-Muslim, I believe it's very important to be just in business. Hence why contracts are written. But this guy, you can't even believe his contract.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe there's so many different versions of this Muslim pioneer contract.
Yeah.
I mean, did he actually ever even live there? Because I never, what the funny thing is? Sorry to take too much time, but I heard it was, some people say it was 10 million, some people say it's 20 million. So, and then they say, average is about 20 million, and there's 600 people, I believe, just on a rough mark. And I don't believe, I mean, I do believe it, obviously now, but nobody, because of how he used the deen and the religion of Allah and his quotes, and he advertised on Islam channel. I mean, you can pay and I can pay and advertise on an Islam channel. I mean, he got invited to a show. That was touching. And then he's on a show on the channel. And then, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, how people would not even check if this company exists because you believe the person so much. I thought there'd be at least one out of the 600 that might have gone on to FCA and maybe checked.
Yeah.
No one checked if this thing existed because everyone believes in social media.
Yeah.
And everyone believes in Allah.
Yeah.
And, normally you would check, is this company genuine? I would check that even if I was paying £100 or like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think, am I going to get the part for my gearbox or my engine? Is this Polish company genuine?
Yeah.
But, and you automatically think, is a brother, I'm going to believe him.
Yeah, subhanallah, subhanallah. It seems to be an issue that we have in our communities where we're a little bit naive when it comes to other Muslims. We want to assume the best, which means, we give a big chunk of our own flesh unnecessarily and sometimes end up getting, scammed or ripped off.
It's fila, isn't it? Fi sabilillah. Because you're doing it for the sake of Allah. And, I think it's just a natural incline that Muslims do not want to, we shouldn't judge. We're taught that in our religion. So why would you want to judge what another Muslim brother or sister is saying? You have to take his word for it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we need to be smarter in business.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. And hopefully, as tragic as this is, hopefully it serves as a lesson for the entire community to not just trust someone with, your tens of thousands of dollars because they're Muslim and because they say things that you like to hear.
But I mean, also not just that, he's made us lose trust. I'll be honest with you, tomorrow is time is a healer, but Muslims are not going to trust Muslims anymore. Not in the short term anyway. He's created a really, I don't know what kind of scene or nature he's made for us, but Muslims will never trust Muslims in the near future.
Yeah, I heard one brother recently. I did an interview with him. He specifically said, "I'm not going to believe people anymore when they say I swear by Allah. If they mention the Prophet ﷺ, if they mention Allah, Islam, I'm just not going to believe them anymore because of how hurt he
I mean,
was."
it's so true. I mean, I tell my children not to say Wallahi all the time. Wallahi's just become a term that kids use in school nowadays. And it's a very severe word.
Yeah, yeah. Subhanallah, subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and make us knowledgeable, make us well-mannered and knowledgeable. Ameen, ya Rabb.
I always say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. But we have a long way to go, Akhi.
Yeah, yeah. A long way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make unification easy for us.
Inshallah.
Ameen, ya Rabb. Ameen. I do have one or two final questions, inshallah. How would you describe Aaqib Ahmed?
For having never met the guy and never spoken to him on the phone, I mean, that should have been a flag on itself, to be honest with you. The CEO or the person behind this all, I've not heard his voice on the phone or I've not seen him. I've only seen social media and his WhatsApp messages and his videos and his voice notes. The way he comes across is experienced. He shows himself to be knowledgeable, but at some point he's made himself feel like he's revised what he's saying. Like I saw a robot video of him talking about AI, and it was like he's reading off the screen or he's practiced it. He didn't seem natural in that. And then most times he's very upfront and direct and humble. Yeah, that's the word. He comes across very humble. A big con artist, and he comes across so humble. You just want to melt. He's like, oh, this person is, he seems so like, genuine. So he's got that, but looks aren't everything. You see, looks are deceiving.
Yeah.
It's what's in the heart and the mind that we can't see, only Allah knows.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jazakallah khair, brother, for joining me today. May Allah bless you immensely, increase you in goodness. Did you end up getting your money back or a portion of it?
No, I've been the bank with, still waiting to hear back for half of it, but because the other half, they're saying that the debit card, MasterCard terms for 120 days, which have passed, they can't get those back. The chargebacks can't be done on those. Although it's a debit card, it's credit card, I believe they probably would have done it.
Yeah.
But debit card, they only look back for 120 days for goods and services, because I claimed it as paid for a service, and it was cancelled by the merchant and I never received it.
Wow. Wow. Subhanallah.
Yeah, I didn't want to use the word Ponzi, scam, investment, anything like that. The bank know it was an investment. The bank know he's a scammer. He's scam people. I didn't want to state the obvious. That's for them to do their research.
Yeah.
They wanted to get in touch. My bank messaged me saying that we will be getting in touch with his bank. So I don't know. I'm hoping if that works and I get half of it back, alhamdulillah. But at the end of the day, brother, the way I look at it, this was all decreed before I even came, before my mother gave birth to me. I had willed this to happen, and it's going to make me stronger, or there's going to be a better outcome, or Allah wishes better for me. We can always see the past, we can always see the loss, but we can never see the future or the gain that's going to come from it, or the reward that it's going to be. And the main thing I believe is that I believe, Iman fluctuates, and I believe we should not let our Iman diminish or get damaged because of this. I think, in fact, we should be stronger in Deen and increase our Iman because of this, because it was never ours anyway.
Yeah.
What we lost was never ours anyway.
Absolutely.
We're just accountable for it, just like Aaqib's going to be accountable for it.